Okay, we are here. Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to another trophy live stream. We are here with JorTurtle today. Very exciting. It's been nice getting to communicate ahead of the stream. I think it's the first time we've met. So,
Yes, I
um,
do believe so.
okay, let me make sure all my little pieces are in order here.
Oh, I'm the same way every time I go live. I go
Yes,
live
dude.
and like chat's just going crazy, and I'm like, yeah, hold on, give me a second, guys. I got to make sure everything's working.
One button press, and then I have to recheck like 40 things.
Yep.
Is this working? It's because I've actually, like, broadcast work meetings on accident because I use a thing called Touch Portal, which is like a Stream Deck, where you can press
Uh,
buttons and it switches scenes, but, I think I accidentally using my, like, corner of my palm or my, like, elbow touched the go live button.
yep.
Luckily, I didn't have, like, OBS set up to listen to Google
They,
Meets,
they
but
could just see it.
it was definitely me talking for half an hour on stream in a work meeting. So, lesson learned there. I took the go live button off of my my
Yep.
touch
Probably a good
portal.
idea.
Yes. So welcome, George Turtle. Really, really great to meet you. It's been really nice talking to you ahead of this. I feel like, we got just nice talking right away. I know you said you have the gift of gab, but it's very clear you're just very personable and like it's easy to slip into conversation, which makes sense because you also are a seemingly like pretty successful content creator, at least from my perspective. So welcome. Why don't you introduce yourself? Give the trophy audience a glimpse
Well,
into you from your perspective.
I do appreciate you calling me successful because depending on
Yeah.
your depending on your definition of successful, you never know. But yeah,
Yeah, facts.
I started doing content about 4.5 years ago, coming up on 5 years in April. I originally had started on Facebook, but Facebook has just completely disowned all their gaming platform folks.
Oh,
So we migrated to our main platform being YouTube. I'm also on Twitch and TikTok and everything else, Instagram, all that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm from here, Newfoundland, just outside of St. John's. Lived here all my life, and I just enjoy. I've always enjoyed playing video games, and then I started streaming. I was playing Warzone, even though I
okay.
hated the game. Um,
What?
but all that's what all my friends were playing, and I was like, I
Yeah.
want to start streaming, and so I'll stream Warzone. And then it got to the point where it was either I stopped playing Warzone or I was going to need to put some new walls in my house because I was going to lose my
Whoa.
mind playing that game.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to play, and one of my buddies was like, "Hey, this game is after is just went free to play now, so why don't we give that a shot?" And I started playing Rocket League, and has taken over my life. I am a unapologetic Rocket League addict. If I do not play it for a span of 24 hours, I crave it. It is, and that doesn't mean that I'm good. It just means that it has a spell over me. So
Yep. Yes, relatable. Very relatable. I definitely we interact with Rocket League via trophy just because we're testing things out all the time, but I definitely just get the urge to play out of nowhere. I don't know what it is. And it's like a kind of comfort place now where it's like if I'm playing a game, I can just come back into Rocket League. It's
yeah,
always something that I can flip on. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but
I think the biggest thing that most people find, uh, um, like it's easy to slip in and out of because
yeah.
okay, so for instance, you're playing Warzone and then you're getting close to the end game. How long are you in a match? Like 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
But right?
Yeah,
Rocket
Yeah.
League, you get on and if you
in
play
and out
3
5
games
minutes.
and you
Yeah,
lose all 3 and it was horrible, you lost what? 20 minutes in
Yep.
3
yeah,
games.
Yeah. Which is
So, like,
nice,
it's
easy,
just quick,
quick.
right?
Yeah, you're not losing much.
And I always say the most fun Rocket League is when you first start playing it or when you're in the lower ranks because it's just hilarious because things just kind of happen and you don't like no one knows what they're doing and they're just running around.
Yep.
As you get into the higher ranks, I feel like at least for myself, you have to have that like competitive drive to want
Yep.
to keep playing. I find a lot of people kind of fizzle out around diamond or even when you first get into champ, because that's when people actually start taking the game seriously.
Yep.
Um, but even at that level, it's still I just have fun. Like it's fun for me. It's not fun for
Yep.
everybody. Often had people say to me, Why do you play that? It's literally a car soccer. Like
Yeah. Kids game.
it's it's silly. Why are you playing car soccer?" I'm like, spoken like someone who's never played car soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He jumped in.
It,
Yeah, for sure. I definitely feel that. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. For me personally, the first time I saw Rocket League, I even remember I was at my friend's house. He lived in LA. We like went out, you know what I mean? And then the next morning I like came out of the room and he was playing it. And I was like, oh, what is that game? It looks cool. And then from there, it was always something in the back of my mind that I wanted to play. Fast forward to a time when I got a new job and I was able to actually buy like a PC. I didn't have anything. So I was a musician before, no
yep,
computer stuff at all, really, to speak of. And in fact, I probably wouldn't have played because the time spent in video games is also time you could be practicing or doing some
yeah.
very much like a content creation grind where there's always pieces that can be
There's always
addressed.
something. If you're
Yeah.
not live, you're creating content, or if you're not creating
Yes.
content, you're brainstorming for content, or you're networking, or you're planning things, or you're trying to figure out like when what days work best for community events. And like
Yeah.
there's always something to do, which
Always.
works well for me because I am a full blown workaholic. So if I'm not at work, I'm probably doing something with my content, or well, obviously now spending time with the family. But
Yeah.
other than the normal adult things that everyone thoroughly enjoys, um, I'm either working or doing something with content. Just because I feel like any time not doing that is time wasted.
Yeah, for sure. And if it seems like something you enjoy doing, so that's probably I mean, it is nice to work, of course, everyone can work on things, but I
Yeah.
think if you have the personal enjoyment of a thing, if there's, like,
Yes.
some deeper motivation other than financial rewards or whatever it is, you're probably just gonna naturally be wanting to do it
Yeah.
anyway.
Like I often people will ask me like, oh, I'm thinking about starting streaming, do you have any advice? And I always say, if you have the feeling that you want to start.
Yeah,
If it stops being fun, stop.
yeah,
Because realistically, uh creating content, sure, you might make some income, but to make a sustainable living creating content in today's sphere,
uh-huh.
um is it's the very, very top 0.01% will ever do that.
Yep,
So what's more important than making income is, one, enjoying what you're doing, and two, prioritize building a community,
yeah, yeah,
because then you've got your group of like-minded individuals um who will spend time with you when you're live or in your Discord server or whatever.
yep.
But if you're doing it for the sole purpose of making money, you're probably not going to succeed.
It's gonna be hard.
Just
It's gonna
because
be hard.
you got to enjoy it, because like I said, I've been doing this 5 years. I don't make anywhere near what one would consider a sustainable living, but
Yep.
I enjoy what I do.
Yep.
So it that's what keeps me coming back.
I mean, I feel like it's all about uh, anything that is fun to do or that is like an attractive job, the people who are successful at it, just enjoy that at a base level. So like a pro Rocket League player, a lot of people ask Rocket League improvement questions. I think pro players at a base level just love the game
Yep,
more than other people, and then they're going to be thinking about the game more, at least in the beginning, right? They're going to be thinking about it more. So probably when they're not playing, their brains are probably still engaged on the content of Rocket League, and then when they are playing, they're just playing a lot and they're really focused on playing. And I think
yep,
that's what I've heard. Like, you can give people all the advice in the world, but at the base level, you just need to really enjoy, like, be interested at maybe not enjoy, but be highly interested in the thing. Because it's not
yeah,
always fun, right? When your teammate leaves, Is that
Oh,
enjoyable?
it's
No,
yeah,
no.
no.
When you whiff the
It
when you backflip on accident, is that enjoyable? No, that's,
for anyone who
Oh my
has,
god, I can't stop doing that.
generally speaking, I try and keep my vibes as good as possible while live.
yes.
I won't bring up any names, but there are some content creators who they
Mm,
play a character while they're live that is just
mm.
endlessly toxic and always mad and screaming and yelling
Yeah,
and
like
whatever.
Jinxie. Jinxie's like a or Tyler 1, a classic. I
Yeah,
love watching Tyler 1 and I love watching Jinxie. It's just endlessly entertaining, but you're right. Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't
Yeah.
have, it's just not me. I wouldn't enjoy being that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, not
So I
authentic.
always try and keep the vibes as good as possible. Anyone who has been in my streams for any substantial amount of time over the last 6 weeks knows that I have not had a good time playing the game over the last 6 weeks. Um,
Oh.
Because I made the mistake,
Uh,
so out of my placements this season for 2s,
yeah.
I placed GC, managed to get, 2 GC wins out of my 10 for my rewards,
Oh,
and then I was like, "Ah, I got lots of time. I'll switch to focusing on 1s for a bit to just try and focus on improvement, and then I'll go back to 2s later, and I'll get my rewards pretty easy." So I'll never make that mistake again because I then spent the last 6 weeks trying to lock in my rewards. So I needed to get back to GC before I could start getting my 8 wins that I was missing for my rewards. And
oh.
I never did get back to GC. I
No.
got within 1 win somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 times.
Yeah.
And every
Just couldn't do it.
single time
Yeah.
that game was a loss. Um, 3 or 4
Dude.
times it was, opponents were, like, admittedly like, they said they were smurfing.
Oh my
Um,
god.
uh, I had one night where I was at, so to get GC, it's 1435 MMR. I was at 1433. I
Oh,
had
no.
4 teammates in a row abandon in the
Oh,
first minute of the game.
What?
4
Oh,
teammates in a row. I couldn't believe it. I was like, it got to the point last going off, just because, the new season started yesterday, so the night before last. I got to the point where I was like, I can't do anything but laugh at how horrible my
yeah.
luck has been over the last 6 weeks.
What is
Like,
with
when
that?
you're having one of those days where there's so much bad stuff happening, you just start
Yes.
laughing because it's just funny at this point. It feels
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're in a comedy movie, like, yeah, and that's the way it was. It was like,
Well,
yes, I'll
I get
take
I have a s
responsibility. I wasn't playing well enough to get where I wanted to
I
be.
don't know, man.
Probably
I don't know.
frustration,
Yeah.
probably sleep deprivation because, new dad. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
but
sure, sure. No,
all of
AFK
that,
is a different story. AFK
yeah,
is a different story, man. That's not you missing a save or whatever, missing a shot. That's a whole
yeah.
other can of matchmaking worms, let's be
Me
honest.
and another player who was trying to get his GC rewards and didn't get them. We're talking about it, and it was like, this season was probably the worst season that I've ever seen for that kind of thing, for like both Smurfs and people abandoning. Um, And I'm assuming you know what I mean by Smurfs.
yep.
Maybe. I think what you experience and what so I'm champ 1 range, but maybe up near champ 3 in the GC border, there might be different types of like, you maybe have to deal
So
with AI accounts more than what I would see, which is 0.
there's some bots. I haven't seen a whole lot lately, but I have seen a few. But, it's so I a lot of times people just say, "Oh, that guy's a Smurf account," and they don't know for sure. They're just guessing,
Right. Right,
right?
right.
Oh yeah.
So I got to the point where I was like, "There's no way that I'm getting Smurfed as much as I think I am." Like,
Yeah.
I got to be just frustrated and
Yeah, yeah.
overthinking it. So I downloaded an app. It's called the TRN app. So you can,
Hmm.
like, when you queue
Yep.
a game, it shows you the other players in the
Yep.
lobby's stats, like their
Yep.
wins and, like their shooting percentage and all this kind of stuff. And generally speaking, in the C3 to GC range, if someone has under 2,000 wins, it's
Yeah.
sus.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
they
yeah.
have under 1,000 wins, they are like the next best
How?
thing to a guaranteed Smurf account that they're
Yeah.
on an alt account carrying their friend. So I went
Yep.
at one point, like I said, I got to the level I was just like, there's no way I'm getting Smurfed as much as I think I am. Like, I I got to be just really frustrated and overthinking it. So I went and downloaded that app, and directly after I downloaded the app, 8 games in a row, one or both of the teammates were on an account with less than 500 wins.
Oh,
8
GC.
games in a row.
What?
Yeah. Like,
Interesting.
how, like, and then I called, like, there was a couple of them that admitted it. They're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm just helping my friend get up." I'm like, "Okay, so what's your real rank?" "Oh, GC2, GC3." I'm like, "Okay, so you're Smurfing. Like, you're not just on an alt account because you don't wanna ruin your rank with your friend. You're Smurfing.
Yeah.
You're carrying
Yeah.
them up." Then I had one guy who told me he was like, "What are you talking about? This is my main account." I was like, "Brother, you have
Brother,
376 wins and you're 1 win away from GC. This is
how is that
not your main
possible?
account.
Yeah.
Who are you telling it
Yes.
to?"
So you spend all
Um
your time in free play, or what are you how are you getting better at this game,
Yeah, like,
brother?
no, like, sorry, it's not possible.
Yeah.
So and then
Yeah.
so at that point, I gave up for the night. I was like, "No, I'm done." Like, 8 in a row, I'm cooked for the night. So then the
Mm.
following night, I was like, "Okay, let's give this a go again." First 2 games, got on, accounts all looked normal, won both games, proceeded to have a streak of 7 games in a row where one or both of the opponents were on an account less than
Oh
500 wins.
my.
I was like,
That's
"The
that's
luck is
crazy.
just ridiculous."
I don't also, like you're talking about 2s, right? In your 2s
Yes, yeah.
matches? I mean, surely you're past the middle of the bell curve, as they say, for where players are playing, right? So the percentage of people at that rank, I don't know what it is. It's like 1%, or I think GC1, we start getting almost a sub 1% of the
So,
player base.
C3 is the top 2%.
Up to, yeah, okay,
Top
okay.
2. GC1, they say, is somewhere between 1 and 1.5. And then
Yeah,
once you get to GC2, you're like top 0.5%.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, which is even like, I don't even know. So if I'm like, "Okay, well, you're probably just getting every Smurf simply because there just aren't a ton of players." Like, there
Yeah.
may be that many Smurfs in the rank that I am, but there's just more
More people to share
players.
them among. Yeah.
Yes,
And
just
then,
yes, to share the Smurfs. I love that.
so the thing is, GC is like that, like, achievement that people
Yeah,
really want. You know what I mean? Like, because that's the first one that you get a title for, right? Like, you don't get
right.
a season title for getting champ. But if you get to grand champ and you get your 10 wins in grand champ, you get a title saying
Yeah.
you were
Oh
grand
my
champ in that season, right?
yes.
So, like on my screen there now, like, you see I got season 16 grand champ. That was the first season that I made GC. So I got it for season 16, 17, 18, 19, and I wanted
Yep.
to keep my streak alive. And I want to be like, okay, I'm going to get 5 seasons in a row. Unfortunately, my streak ends at 4 seasons, but that just means that I start a new streak at season 21, because I will be grinding twos until I have my rewards. I will not be playing another mode. I will not make the same mistake I made last season.
Yeah. Yeah, you live and you learn in this
Yeah.
game of Rocket League.
And but I guess because
Uh,
it is that, like, that goal for a lot of people is to get their GC rewards. It just
yeah.
seems like there's a whole lot more people getting carried to that level,
Yeah.
because that's where they want to be. I actually had there's another funny story. So I had a teammate, and I knew within the first 20 seconds of the game that he did not belong in C3. Like, he, like, clear as day.
Yeah.
I did not call him out. I was like, okay, I'll just deal with it. I'll try and carry him, like, to get this win, whatever. Um, and about a minute into the game, the opponent scores their, like, third goal, and they they called him out, and they were like, whatever his name was, they were like, "How much did you pay to get up
Oh
here?"
my god. Everyone sees it.
And I didn't say anything. I was just like, I'm interested to see how he's going to respond, because
Yep.
usually people will deny it. They were like, "What are you talking about? I solo queued my way up here." But he didn't even deny it. He said, "It doesn't matter. I have my
Yeah.
GC reward, so I don't care if I D rank all the way back to
Oh,
diamonds."
so he's on the way down. He was
He
like,
was
"Yeah, see you
he was
guys."
on the way down. He got
Clocking
carried
out.
up, got his rewards, and he was solo queuing his way back down.
Oh my. That's
And I
incredible.
was like, this is great. This is awesome. I'm if I'm not getting smurfed, I'm getting carried teammates. This is awesome.
There's just
Um,
no the it's just completely corrupt to this the
yeah,
ranked experience. I mean, this is why people use well, it's not so popular now, but this is why people do like six mans or they play
yeah,
in private leagues. There's just a little bit more
yeah.
curation.
I've
Honestly, the
been
Rocket League. Yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say I've been part of like not necessarily leagues, but I've done some like twos and threes tournaments, like at like I said, I'll call them custom tournaments, like
Yeah,
they're put together by an org or whatever, and they're always really good
yep,
because generally speaking, the people who put those off ensure that the people who are saying that they're part of this rank category that you're putting the tournament off for are actually in that rank. You don't have to worry about Smurfs.
right.
So
Yep,
everyone there is meant to be there. So say if you're
yep,
putting off a tournament for anyone between GC2 and or C2 and GC1, everyone in that tournament, unless they're very, very good at being sneaky, is going to be between C2 and GC1. So they're all fairly close games. They're good games. Everyone's at an approximate same skill level. And then you queue an in-game tournament and you go against, I don't know, Monkey's uncle 69 420 and his friend's rainbow farts plastic bag in in the tournament finals that have SSL titles and they're in champ
mm,
tournaments,
yeah,
right? Like
yes,
so
yes.
it's the custom games. I've always said they're like for anyone who likes the competitive part of it, the custom tournaments is always something that if they're put off by people who make sure that
That's
everyone's
interesting.
meant to be there, it's
I haven't
it's it's
tried. You're just
it's
talking about
always really
in
fun.
Rocket League, right? Not like an external thing, but just like people make a tournament in Rocket League and then it's a
So you
custom
can just
tournament?
make a tournament in Rocket League and set
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
then it goes by ranking system. But like I'm talking about, like
Got
I've
it.
been part of tournaments where like orgs have put them together,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
they'll have like they'll send out an Excel sheet with like a bracket,
Right, right.
and they'll have like this person makes the lobby, this is the name, this is the password, and
Yeah,
then everyone joins up or whatever, and then you just report who wins what games, and it goes that way, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
when you sign up for it, whoever's organizing the tournament will check, like rank check people and make
yeah.
sure, okay, well this account has 750 wins and they're showing GC2. There's an issue here. Why are you giving me an alt account? Where's your
Yes,
main account? Right?
yes,
So
yes. Yeah,
it
I've run a
as
few
long as the
leagues and
organizers keep track of everything, those
yeah,
types of things are always the most fun for anyone who
yeah,
likes the
there's
competitiveness of it.
there's a few. So we sponsor a league in EU called RSC EU, which is a pretty big one. Players like Juicy participated in that. There's a few other top players that have come out of that system. Those players were already probably going to be good anyway, but they, they
Yep.
maybe coincidentally, maybe not. But they RSC has pretty good production value. But they, I believe, they have their own internal ranking system. So I know the NA branch of RSC has two values that they actually attribute to each player in the league, and they, it's
Okay.
compiled as players perform.
Cool.
Similar to something like what Faceit might do in CS, where there's like a more strict system or like it just sanitizes the lobbies effectively, making sure all
Yeah.
the data is appropriate. It's
Well, I
interesting.
guess using your own ranking system would be similar to, like how, like for six mans, you'll have
Yep,
like rank
exactly.
A, rank B, rank X,
Yeah.
whatever, right? Like they don't
Yep.
actually go by in-game rank.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
when you win a six man's lobby, you get some points, just like it's MMR effectively, but I don't know what the six man's bot uses to
Yeah.
calculate.
I don't know how that all works. I've never been part of that system. I
It's
just
a black
know.
side. It's a dark art. I'll just put it that way. There's
Yeah. Yeah.
all kinds of weird, just like parsing replays. In fact, like how long do you count boost consumption for? Do you count boost consumption after the ball has gone in the net? Like people are still boosting around the screen when that happens, right? They're flying from
Yeah.
one end to the other typically.
Yep.
So when do you cut that off? Would do demos count the same? Anyway, there's all, Rocket League it's tricky.
There's so much data when it comes to
There's so
like.
much data. Yes, there
And
is.
I think that kinda has something to do with why I like Rocket League a lot as well,
Yeah.
because I don't know if you see the hockey jerseys behind me, but I'm a big hockey fan. Um,
Yes.
Go Leafs
Wait, a
go.
Canadian who likes hockey?
And it's actually the only sport I follow.
Well, it's an
Um,
amazing sport. Let's be real. The hockey is
but
incredible.
if you get in, I'm like hockey nerd. So
Yeah,
like if you get real in depth with hockey, there's so many statistics like expected goals for, expected goals against, Corsi for, Corsi against. Like there's words I didn't know until I heard them in a statistic for
sure.
hockey, right?
Yes.
Because and it's so specific, and there's like these big algebra formulas to figure out the number and like how the values are and like
Yep.
these big charts and everything. And I feel like there's so many similarities between Rocket League and hockey
Yeah.
in that way, and not just in that way, and in a lot of ways. I made a short earlier with something I said on stream the other night. So, um, there's a saying in hockey that it's a game of mistakes because generally speaking, anytime that a puck crosses a goal line, it's because one or more
Yeah.
people on your team made a mistake. Because
Yeah.
if you play a perfect game, you don't get scored on,
Right.
Yep.
right?
Very similar to
Rocket
Rocket League.
League is very, very similar to that.
Yes.
And
Oh,
like like everyone makes mistakes, no one's perfect.
yep.
Zen, who is maybe
Ideal.
arguably but regarded as one of the best, if not the best Rocket League player in the world,
Yep.
literally own gold in RLCS.
Yep. Yep.
Everyone makes mistakes,
Just
so
brutal.
instead of when your teammate makes a mistake losing your mind when there's 4 minutes and 30 seconds left and you're down by 1,
Yep.
maybe, just maybe, put it behind you and be like, "No problem, man. We'll figure it out," and just see how you can improve. Because usually, if your teammate made a mistake, you probably made a mistake that put them in the situation they were in to make their mistake.
No. False. Will not
Yeah.
accept that answer.
It's not you. Yeah, it's
Uh,
never you.
See now, and that might be the Canadian in me.
No, no, no.
But
You're
no,
you're
because
right.
like I play with a lot of Americans as well, and I
We don't
often
say
get told
sorry
I
down here,
take the
brother.
blame too much. Because like I
You
had
have
a
to. You have to. Like, there's no way. What are you
Yeah.
gonna tell someone they're wrong and then have that go well in the lobby? I don't think
yeah,
so. Yeah.
but like I'll be playing with people and like we'll get scored on, and I'll be like, "Nah, that's my bad," and I'll be like, "What are you talking about? I was sitting on the goal line and
Yeah.
completely whiffed the ball," and I'm like, "Yeah, but why did the ball get to you?
Yeah.
I whiffed
Exactly.
my touch
Yeah.
at midfield. So if
Yeah.
I didn't whiff my touch, you wouldn't have been in the situation you were in.
Yeah.
So my bad."
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
how I
It's
try and
just
look at it, right?
Uh,
chains of mistakes. Yeah.
Yes. So like the way I try and keep my mentality, and I did not do a good job of this over the last 6 weeks. So I'm going to sound like a hypocrite to anyone who has been in stream over the last 6 weeks, because I did a whole lot of blaming everybody else. Um, but generally speaking, I try to keep the mentality of if I lose a game, sure, my teammate might have been the most carried, worst player that I've ever seen in my life. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's plenty I could have done to improve our situation. So I try and look at it. How can I improve my gameplay
Yep.
to make myself a better teammate for whoever I get? So that's just how I look at it. I
Most
always try and
pros
I think
preach
seem to
that's
that
say
to
the
my
great.
same.
community as well.
Yeah. Garrett G talks like this. So if you ever watch Garrett
Yep.
G's streams, even if he's playing with like a worse player, well, whatever.
Which
He's a
yeah,
very good
yeah,
player.
he's Garrett G. Most
Yeah.
players are worse.
He will always do that though. Like you can tell he'll be frustrated with the way a play goes, but to me, I always hear him like tack on at the end. I probably could have done X, Y, or Z better
Yeah,
there. I put too much pressure on my teammates. So I think you don't get to a super high rank, which I would count C3 as a high rank statistically. If you just look at how many players
yeah.
achieve that rank, I know in Rocket League we
If
act like SSL is the like best, and then everyone else is garbage,
Yep.
which may be true, but in terms of spread here,
what
C3
I've
is
always
high.
said is
You're still in the
unless
top
you are
like
assigned
10%.
to an organization and play professionally, you are trash.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't care what
yes.
your rank is.
We can
Yeah.
agree.
Like
Yeah, we can agree on that for sure.
because like because I'm not mechanical, I'm a very unmechanical C3 slash GC, whatever you want to call me.
Yep.
Most people in my rank are better mechanically than what I am. I have never even attempted a flip reset in free play, let alone in game. Um, and there are Plat players scoring triples, but I
Well, yeah.
and that we'll save that discussion for another time. But the way I look at it is, if your fundamentals and decision making and field placement are good enough, you don't need to be able to do the flashy mechanics. You just need to be able to defend them.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, I get a lot of comments on a lot of the content that I put out. How are you C3? How are you GC? You play like you're diamond, da da da
Oh
da da.
my god.
And I'm
You're
like,
like, "No, I'm not whiffing right now." That's, so that
yeah,
leave
exactly. I'm
diamond
like,
right out.
if I was in diamond, see the touch that I got there, I wouldn't have got that. I probably
Yeah.
would have drove right beside the ball and missed it. And that's not
Ball
to
would've
say
gone
that
the
I
opposite.
won't drive beside the ball and miss it next time I try to do that,
Yeah.
but I'm just more consistent with what I'm doing than what I would be if I was in diamond.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's
and
just a disconnect between how people view what Rocket League is, like, in their mental model, and then what
yeah,
actually is happening on the
yeah.
field, right?
What I always say to people is if your definition of good at Rocket League is mechy, then
Yep.
you don't understand the game of Rocket League.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah, because
being good at
go on.
mechs means okay, you can freestyle.
Right.
Great,
Yeah.
you can freestyle. That's awesome. What's your rank?
Yeah.
That is the ranking system in the game is literally the whole purpose of it is
Yes.
to say what your skill level is.
Yep.
Yep.
So if you can triple flip reset musty double touch pancake, but you're in plat, I'm a better player than you and I can't do that.
Gotta rotate back post, my man.
That's
Let's
right.
just start with some back post
That's
rotations.
right.
I mean,
My f-
yeah.
I always so mechie players, me for my play style, I don't like getting very mechy players as a teammate in solo queue because they always go for the mechy play, not the smart play.
Yep.
And when they fail, they
They
might be
just want the
really
clip.
good,
They don't care.
but when
Yep.
they fail bad. And then they're spamming
Yes, they
take
do.
the shot while I'm defending a 2v1 and they're spinning on their head in the
Oh,
opponent's
no.
net.
The opposite side of the field. Yep.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
and then it's my fault I get scored on because I'm in a 2v1.
Yeah.
But like, what do you do?
Yeah.
To me, and now I'm probably their most hated type of teammate because I don't ever go for any mechs in game. I won't say ever, but like what you've been seeing me do here is the extent of my mechs. It's just simple air dribbles. Like I don't do any crazy flicks. I don't do any flip resets. Now, in saying that, I do fully intend to take
Flip
advantage
reset on the
of
stream.
all the training in Trophy to get a little bit
Oh,
meckier
sure. Yeah, yeah.
because it does look fun.
Right.
It does look fun to do, but I will never be one of those players to make it the focal
I
point of my game.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think someone in chat says Adam CJ Mexer Tools. That's really, I mean, if you watch pro players, like if you watch
Yep.
someone flip resetting, the majority of the time they're not flip resetting to score or maybe even shoot. They're getting around a person. They're using like an
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
addition. Yeah, it's an additional mech that they're a
Yep.
way to like get the ball in the net. They don't really
They're
care.
just trying to maintain possession.
Yep.
Like they'll
Even
I've seen it. I was watching, I can't remember, it was a couple years ago because I haven't had a whole lot of time to consume a whole lot of RLCS last year or so.
Yep.
But it was a few years ago I was watching. I can't remember who the player was. I can't remember, but all I remember is that he flip resetted 3 separate times. Like it was like
Yeah.
his wheels touched the ground between each flip reset, but he's flip resetted 3 separate times, all 3 times to get it around opponents and
Yep.
then simply drove it into the net. Just put it on his front bumper and drove straight into the net.
You didn't have
And
to
I
do
was like,
anything else.
that is why I want to know how to flip reset. Not so I
Yeah.
can look cool
Yep.
and get a triple flip reset, double touch in straight
Yeah,
into
it'd
the
be
net.
nice, but it's not the end
Sure, it'd be
all.
nice, but the
just to
purpose
be
of
able to pause
mechanics.
it and throw someone's timing off is
Exactly. Like
exactly.
the purpose of mechanics, like you said, they're a tool. Oh, am I crashing? No, okay, we're good. The purpose
Yeah,
of
please.
mechanics is to be a tool so that you can be more efficient.
Right.
But
Yep.
if the smart play is to just like drive towards the net and fake and throw them out to center field and just drive the ball into the net, if that can work, why would I try a double flip reset when it's so much easier to fake?
Yeah.
There's
No.
so
Oh yeah.
much less that can screw up if I fake.
Yep.
compared to
Yep.
if I do a double flip reset. I can throw the ball into the corner. I can hit the back wall. I can get a lag reset and the ball just drops right in front of the opponent and then they're driving into my net. Why would I take the shot at that when I can just drive it, try for a fake, and if I don't fake them, at least I 50 them and the ball doesn't shoot straight into my net,
Yes.
right? Like
I love
it's
that.
just I always try to look at the most efficient way to get the ball past the goal line.
Yeah.
And what I always say is a triple flip reset counts the same on the scoreboard as if the opponent own goals.
Oh my god,
So
yes, so true.
it
So
all counts
true.
as one goal. I don't care
It's
what
just
a
a
goal
goal.
looks like as long as the scoreboard is in my favor.
Yeah. Do you so when you're streaming, do I should know this, but I don't. Do you're giving advice to players about how to perform and stuff. What sort of
Yeah.
questions are you getting? I have a sense for what they might be, but just from your perspective, what are you hearing from people on the
The
ground, so to speak?
the most common question I get is, "Hey, can you help me? I am insert rank below champ here," because it could be gold, it could be diamond, it could be plat, it could be silver, whatever.
Yep.
I am whatever that rank is, and I can insert crazy mechanic that you do not need at that level here,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I can't get out of that rank.
I'm a
So, like,
plat and
just to
I can
make that a
flip
lot
reset.
simpler, because that sounded really confusing. Um,
No.
just for example, "Hey, man, can you help me? I am stuck in plat, but I can double flip reset." And
Yeah.
my response is always, "You're probably stuck in plat because you can double flip reset."
Yeah, and you're
Yes.
not rotating, you're not on defense, you're not having much game sense. There's like so many other things that need to go right.
Exactly. And what I always say to people is that if you are in fact stuck in plat, there's no way you can consistently double flip reset, because if you
Yeah.
could, you would just spam it because
Yeah,
Yeah.
no plat can defend a double flip reset,
yeah,
Yes. I
right?
mean, even pros
So
yeah,
can't sometimes. It's a crazy
exactly.
mechanic. Like if you're good at it. Yes. Uh,
If you can consistently double flip reset, you would just double flip reset all your way to champ or grand champ, because
yep.
I mean, I see lots. Sometimes a double flip reset catches me. There's lots of
Yeah.
people in champ or GC that can't defend a double flip reset consistently.
Yep.
If their opponent can consistently hit it,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
stop
I th-
wasting. What I always tell lower ranked players, my number one tip. I'll show you exactly what I
yeah.
showed him. My number one tip for anyone under C1. So if you're diamond 3 or below, do this: 15 to 20 minutes a day. Come to free play,
Let's go.
just drive around hitting the ball and make a game out of it. And just say, uh, okay, I'm going to hit the ball here, and this is 1. Now I'm going to hit the ball again, 2, 3. And I whiffed, so 4, now I go back to 0.
Oh, you get
Drive
chains.
around hitting
Nice.
the
I like
ball
that.
as hard and as often as you can, because 1, it will help you whiff less. 2, it will help you be able to read what different touches off your car make the ball do. And 3, it will help you be able to read what the ball does when it bounces off different parts of the walls.
Yeah.
You do that 20 minutes a day before every session, and you will get to C1. That's literally all you need to do. You don't need to
I
flip reset.
love
You don't need to
that.
speed flip. I have been GC1 for 4 seasons. Unfortunately, I can't say 5, but I have been GC1 for 4 seasons, and I can still barely speed flip. And
I
I've
don't
got
need it.
people coming into my chat saying, "I'm silver and I can speed flip. Is that good?"
Like, is
You're
it? I don't know.
silver, so no. And like, it's great that you can speed flip, but it doesn't matter that you can speed flip. You're still in silver.
You know,
So
on the ball bouncing off of the wall mode, I am obliged to bring this up.
yeah.
Trophy does have a game that addresses this. Hopefully, I press
yep.
this button and our mics stay on. It's called off wall shots. It's a very similar thing to what you just showed. I don't think we do the chaining like what you described, which is like a super
Yep.
good idea.
And
Or maybe
so,
we
like,
do. There's a
and
score, maybe.
I've been saying that forever. And I actually said that one night I was doing the off wall shots in one of my streams, and I was like, "This is very similar to what I tell people to do to get to C1."
Yeah. Yeah.
So you are valid in what you were saying. Yes.
Yeah. There's a few
one
little
thing that
games like
I
that, but go on,
One
Sean.
thing that I found is really starting to kind of help me. Like, I've always been pretty good with like just general aerials and stuff and aerial shots and stuff. It's kind of my area of like just what I'm tend to be better at. But like it's just being able to take a moment in free play and just try to stay with the ball, like,
Yep.
just float
That's
along with
good.
the ball. Don't try to, like, push the ball, like, to like, you know what I mean? Don't try to hit the ball around like crazy. Just try to stay with it.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a lot harder than you think, but if you can do that, it gives you so many opportunities to just kinda, either fake or, just kinda do,
So
um, a quick
something
dump
I
on the
noticed.
ball or something, like that. You
Yep.
wouldn't be able to do if you were not right on the ball.
So for most of the last 4 seasons before this last one, I spent it in, like, I'll say low GC1 to high C3. Um, this most recent season was the first time I actually fell into low C2 at one point. It was the lowest I've been in a long time just because of, I blame it on tilt queuing. I should have probably stopped queuing long before I did, and I just kept going.
Eh,
Um,
It's so hard to not, though.
yeah,
yeah,
it was
it
like, "It's
is.
gotta turn around eventually. I've only lost 12 games. I gotta win one sometime." Um,
I'm locked.
but, eh, something that I noticed when I got into the mid C2, even low C3 range, um, and something that was told to me when I was C1 is people just love hitting the ball away,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
and they just play it's like they're playing volleyball. They just hit the ball as hard as they can and drive. So literally, when I got into low C2, it was like, okay, I'm just gonna park on my end of the field and let my teammate keep banging the ball back and forth until I see an opportunity where I can take control. And
Nice.
generally speaking, you take control of the ball and you drive it down, and they don't know what to do.
Oh,
They're
they'll
like, "Oh
cut
my
you off.
god,
They'll
he's
they'll hit the
controlling the
ball
ball.
from
He didn't
you.
just bang it back at me. What do I
Your
do
brain
now?"
stopped.
Right?
Your brain stopped working.
So, like that, it's another that's the tip I usually give to people who are in C1. So up to C1, I give them the tip, like, just hit the ball, hit it hard,
Yep.
and get better at reading the bounces and everything. At C1 is when I tell people, okay, so remember how I told you to hit the ball and hit it hard? Now go in free play and drive around and keep it close.
Love that.
Dribble, like, put it on your roof and drive around and try to keep it on your roof for as long as possible, because, like, just doing this, it gets your fine movements better. So, like, when you want to get a real soft touch on the ball and
Yep.
fake out an opponent, or you're trying to control it as you're driving down the field, and, like, say I'm driving down like this and I just wanna, well, I screwed that up. But say I'm driving down and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, I just wanna get a quick, like,
Yep.
just a soft touch to the side to get it around the opponent." That's gonna become important once you get into C1. But you've already, because you did the hitting the ball around, up to get to C1, you've
Yep.
got an I you've got the skill base built up that you can hit it far and you can hit it at least semi accurately. So if you get an opportunity for a long shot goal, you can take it. You still get those in GC1, GC2, GC3, SSL. Some people will overcommit or they'll push up too close and you get a good hard touch on the ball. It's in the net. And that's an easy goal.
Yep.
But now that you've got that built up, start working on keeping the ball close and getting your fine touches, and then that'll help you push higher in low champ into mid champ into high champ and then into GC.
I love that.
So then
I love
you
that.
those
Yeah.
that it might sound simple, and I always say this to people. It
No.
sounds really simple, and it might sound like I'm being patronizing to people who are low ranked. And when I just say play the game and hit the ball and hit it hard, that's all you need to do. That's my biggest tip. And they're like, "That sounds like what? That sounds so easy. Why are you just not helping me?" And I'm like, "I am helping you. That's
Just
how
listen to
easy it
me.
is."
Yeah, that's
Help
the
me help
problem.
you.
You don't realize why that's helping you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Well, and
that's
people don't
how
read the
easy it
game.
is, and it's again, I shouldn't say use the word easy. It's
Yeah,
not easy to do
it's
those things,
simple.
because if it
Yeah,
was
it's
easy,
simple.
everyone would, it's just simple,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Simple
it
is not bad
sounds too
or
simple to be true,
yeah.
but it is. And the fact that I was GC for 4 seasons, I'm still in C, well, actually right now I haven't done my placement, so I'm in, like, high C2. Um, but, the fact that I, like, held C3 and GC for the last 5, 6, well, I got into C3, I think it was 9 seasons ago, and then it took me a full year after hitting C3 to hit GC.
That's pretty
Um,
good, honestly. Like, that's not I mean, a year is a long time in life or in a Rocket League career, but
yeah,
I feel like that's because people get hard stuck. C3 is a hard, barrier for people, so a
yeah,
year is
it
not
is.
so
It
bad, to
is.
be honest.
Like, and
Year is
I'm
okay.
about I'm a little bit quicker than average in game time to get there.
Yeah,
Um, but if you were to look at my accounts like wins and stuff, you'd say
yeah.
I'd have a lot more hours than what I've got. So I've got roughly now, I've got somewhere around 2,200 to 2,500 hours.
That's really good.
So the
That's like half
average to
then.
hit GC1 is about 2,000. That's about average.
Yep.
Um, I hit GC when I was at about 1,700. So I was a little bit below average. I was below average when I hit C3 too. I can't remember what the numbers were. But if you look at my wins, I have over 12,000 wins.
Nice.
But the reason that my like if like someone else might have 2,000 hours and only have 6 or 7,000 wins. People always say my wins looks like I have a lot more hours than I have. But that's because I literally did no training until I hit GC1. I always hated free
Yep.
play. I always hated custom training. I always hated training packs. I'd get on, I'd queue casual until I felt warm, and then I'd jump into comp.
I always had a problem with training packs and stuff built into the game because, like, you can't really know what the original creator of
Yeah,
those training packs
yes, yeah.
intended because
Like,
there's
and
no
that's what
way
I
to
like
like
about
play
Trophy.
it and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that with Trophy you can do that and you can
Took one
actually
of the best
see
peaches
exactly like
pieces of trophy.
what you're supposed to do and what's
Yeah.
expected of you. You don't have to go find a YouTube video that was created 3 years ago. You know what I mean to kind
Yep.
of understand it.
And you can
I
slow the speed down easily, so, like, on the flip reset packs, any of those crazy mechie packs, even the backboard saves and such, like,
'Cause there's so
I
many
don't and
micro,
yeah.
corrections, you know what I mean? When you're
Yes. Yeah.
like, it's so hard to catch it all at full speed. But
It
yeah,
is.
that was, like, one of the main things I liked about Trophy was, in the train like, 'cause like you said, you go into a custom training pack in game, and you're looking at where the ball's coming from and how your car's positioned, you're like,
Like,
"How am
"Huh."
I supposed to score this?"
Right, it doesn't
Yes.
make any sense.
Right?
Or, like,
And
the
the shots
timing is such that you have to be so precise that, like, it will never go in no matter how hard you try unless it's perfect. But you don't know that, and you don't know that that was the intent until you find, like, somebody who actually
Yeah.
describes it to you.
I just realized this is the longest I've spent in free play, I think, ever.
you're in
Uh,
where you're in the flow right now. We're just talking.
yeah,
That's
just
actually the
talking.
best time for free play, in my opinion. I mean, you work on things,
Oh my
but
god.
Are other you guys on right now? Oh yeah, C and Feeney.
Sean
That's
might
you. Or
be.
I just said C and Feeney. It's Sean
Yeah,
D Feeney. Oh my
yes.
gosh.
You don't understand how many times
Maybe.
I get that. I get that so often.
Gross.
It's like
Um,
C and
Adams Adams says training packs are okay, but they only provide you with that one particular scenario, with almost never comes up in game. I agree. So this is why having a thing demonstrate the pack, but also this is a thing that Trophy added recently, relatively. I mean, it's been a few months now, but um, sharpshooter mode is what we have. There's a Bacchus mod plugin called Jump In Game that is similar. So the goal, I think, just calling out or identifying what you're saying, Adam, is that we need context of actual gameplay, and the best way to get that is just to extract those moments from like actual gameplay. So I
yeah,
think that is something Trophy is working towards, and we're doing that more and more. There's stuff behind the scenes that's happening where we pick those things out easier and in more potent versions, where it's like this was a key moment in your game. We can actually pull that out and turn it into a train rather than you having to scrub through and be like,
that's amazing.
click a
Uh,
button. I
I
want
would
this one.
use that all the time because
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll often now I don't usually do it when I'm live just because it doesn't usually help
Sure.
your retention to look at replays.
What?
Um,
What?
but, I'll often if I'm playing off stream, if I have a game where I'm like, "Man, I definitely coulda won that game," I'll go and watch the replay, and I'm like, "Well, what could I have done differently here?"
Right.
And I'd
Yeah.
love to
Yeah.
be able to jump in and try different scenarios, you know what I mean?
Oh my god,
Um,
yeah. That would be
so
so the dream so imagine like you're a Formula 1 team, you can model the tire changes across a race, that they just have the software to do that. Now imagine a similar idea, but you're a coach for a Rocket League team. What does it look like if we did this formation? And then they would have a model of what a play might develop into, or like what a 50 would actually look like.
yeah,
I would
that
love that tool.
that'd be
I'm not
great.
sure that's in the cards for us, but some kind of very advanced strategic tool. I think I mean, there's advanced strategic stuff that Trophy is working towards,
Okay.
obviously, but, my mind, in terms of what would be dope for Rocket League, I'm always thinking of crazy stuff that would be amazing.
It's if
So,
you can't tell, I struggle to hold conversations while playing.
Yeah.
Um, but
Totally.
I wanted to say something about
please,
the
yes.
comment in regards to uh,
Training
like
packs.
because training packs they give perfect scenarios, right?
Yep.
Like perfect setups, perfect whatever. Um,
Demo.
what I've often told people is that if you've got something you want to work on and you want to get better at, sure, use a training pack to get it down in the perfect scenario. Then take the setup for that training pack and go into free play and
Yeah,
replicate it in free play
I love that.
so that you can
Yes.
learn the actual setup on
Yep,
how to get it because the training pack's going to set it up for you.
yep.
But in free play, you got to set it up yourself. Then once you're comfortable with it in free play, you're still not going to be comfortable with it in game because
Nice.
you don't have the pressure of opponents.
Yeah,
But
Yep.
because you've then got the setup figured out in free play, it'll be that much easier for you to
yeah,
get used
Yep.
to the pressure of opponents, right? So you're
Yeah.
still
So when
probably
it
going to
comes,
screw it
so
up
when
the
it,
first 10,000 times you try it in game.
yes.
Um, but you do have the ability then to set it up on your own without the training pack setting it up for you.
Yeah, the next step. And you
yes.
could also use ball chasing or a Bacchus mod, sorry, variants. You can add, like, little things into the pack to make it better, but I think
Yeah.
you're right, though, like, the chances are super high that if a person is struggling on a mechanic that they've been practicing in free play, they're probably not doing a perfect job during practice even. There's probably little things that
Yep.
are, out of alignment with what is good to do,
Yep.
and, that's why the good so if you can do it very confidently, like in the analogy I always come back to is music. I have a strong music background, but if I'm learning a classical guitar piece, I take one measure and then I practice it. If it's very challenging, I practice it very slowly and make sure
Yep.
I'm all my mechanics in my hand are working as I want them to. I work out any problem areas and then I speed it up. And slowly but surely, you like build up to the playing speed, which is similar. So you take a training pack, make sure you're doing every little drift, every little like dodge correctly, and then if you're doing a good job there, you're actually practicing those fundamental mechanics that will
Yep.
then translate to the gameplay. So even if you don't get the perfect setup, since you've practiced the fundamental pieces, you probably are going to be able to adjust. Certain things like air roll, flight, that's hard. I
It's
don't,
very hard to learn air
you
roll. Like
just,
I'm
yeah,
not very good with like I use mainly free air roll.
yeah.
And I'm not very good with that. But I've always said Chad always makes fun of me. I always say that directional or air roll is witchcraft. And that you
Yes,
got to
it
go to
is.
hardware. You got to go to
I
hardware to
felt the
learn it.
other way. Anytime from the moment I played this game, from the very beginning, I turned off free air roll because I could not figure out free air roll. But
Really?
directional air roll, I can. That makes total sense to me because I
I
want my input to do what I think it should do. Like I don't want like something that's just
and I mean
too open
to
ended.
each
I
their own.
guess.
Now, in saying that, this is going to sound ridiculous. I didn't know air roll period existed until I was
Oh.
almost diamond.
Oh, you didn't need it.
Like my buddy was said to me, he
That's
was like, what
crazy.
bind do you use for air roll?" And I was like,
Huh?
"Air what?" And he was like,
What
"Air
is
roll."
that?
I was like, "What is air roll?" He's like, "What do
What
you
is
mean?
it?
What is air roll?" He was like, "You're almost diamond. You don't know that what air roll is." And I was like, I don't even know that
Shameful.
I know what you're saying right now. Can you spell it for me?"
That's pretty funny.
Right? Like
Just
anyway,
completely out of the vocab.
yep. And so then I learned free, and then
Nice.
I didn't even know that like free was a thing. I was like, okay, well, free air roll. Like when I learned what free was, I was like, okay, I've got that figured out. Directional can't be that hard. And then I jumped in the air and tried
It's just
directional,
a
and I was
different
like, what am I? What is this? Why is my car doing these things?
yeah.
So now I do use a little bit of arrow left, but arrow right is like I might as well just like play with my feet because it's not going to go well if I use arrow right.
Yeah, most people only choose one or the other, right? It doesn't even
Yeah.
it's not like most people I'm sure Zen can do both equally well or whatever, or
Yeah.
Drawly or whatever, but most people don't. I mean, even like Reddles, I think he only had one. He could do
Yeah.
both, I'm sure, but,
There are I don't know if there are any current pros. I do know of some bubble players, and I can't remember who it was, but I know there was at least one, probably retired now. But there
yeah, there
was
are
at
a
least
few.
one pro who was
In the
free
past.
air roll only, like didn't even
Yeah,
have directional binded.
I think 2 there was a Vitality player, I can't remember what their name is now, but it was a while ago. I think it was what is it? Yukio, I think, used free air roll. There's a few other players. Not so much now, but honestly, it could be because it's just not as fashionable to do. I know there's people say there's more control, and probably objectively that's true. However, let's say Zen comes out and he's like, I only use free air roll. There's a bunch of players who are just going to start using free
Yep.
air roll simply because, I mean, maybe rightfully so, a high performing individual finds success. So I think a person probably could, you
But
know,
the reason that that individual is high performing is because they're playing 50 hours a week at
yes,
minimum,
Yeah.
right? Like
yes.
the way
Yes.
I've like
Yeah, that's
people
what
have
it
said to
comes
me
down to
like
the first thing. You just if you're passionate about the game, you're probably just gonna
exactly,
excel. There's no 2 ways,
exactly.
just like
Like
anything.
I thoroughly enjoy Rocket League, um, but as I am not a full-time content creator,
Yeah,
I simply don't have the time to put in to get, like, cracked, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, people have said to me, like, "Oh, are you gonna try for SSL? Like, you were GC1, like, are you gonna try for SSL?" I'm like, "My brother, if I
Maybe.
had the time to try for SSL, like, if realistically, to
No.
get to SSL, you're playing minimum, absolute bare minimum,
Yeah,
20 to 30 hours a week.
yeah.
Um, and that
Well, but
once you're
we also
there, maybe not. Um,
I don't know, dude. I think
you
you
might
still
not
do it a
need that
lot.
to maintain. Everyone's different. Some people are
Yeah,
just, whatever. Um, but you might not need that to maintain.
yep,
But to get there, you're talking minimum 20 to 30 hours a week. So you're talking a part-time job,
yep.
yep.
right? So if I wasn't creating content, maybe I would have the time to do that. But
Yeah,
I have a full-time job. I have content creation, which I'm not a full-time content creator, but realistically, I almost put
is.
full-time hours into it
Yeah.
when you
Yeah, yeah,
take into live time, creating like the shorts and whatever and everything else that
yep.
goes into it. I have a wife. I now have a son. I have a dog. I have a cat. I have a house that needs to be maintained. I have
Oh
groceries to
my.
buy.
Oh
Like I
my.
have a lawn to cut. I have a driveway that needs to be snowblowed. Like where am I
Yeah.
finding the extra time to put
Yes.
into grinding the mechanics or whatever to get me to SSL?
Yeah. Yeah, when people say
Right?
"unk," they don't actually understand, like, all of the, logistical pieces that support the fact that you're actually able to be on the game.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
yeah,
Like,
I had things.
yes, yes, I am Unk. Like I'm 33, so I don't feel
Proud of
like
it.
Unk, but I realize I'm Unk
Yeah, yeah.
to most of the people who
Yes.
use that term non-ironically.
Yeah.
Um, so yes, okay, I'm fine. I'm Unk. Um, somehow, even though I'm Unk, I probably still outrank you in this game, you child.
God.
So despite all my other responsibilities, I'm still better at Rocket League than you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. We have a
Like when I
few
was DC1, I
comments.
was like, I'm in the top 1%. Where are you?
Yeah, what's going on here, guys?
Yeah.
People who yap like that are just crazy anyway,
Yeah.
so,
They're just trying to
um,
get a rise at it. Like, very rarely will I actually give anyone what they're looking for.
yeah,
I generally speaking, if someone comes in like just getting like way out of hand, wow, I'm playing a Hava
that's
right now. But if
I
someone
thought you
comes in
had
getting
that.
way out of hand with like
Holy
say like racist stuff or like just
yeah, yeah,
stuff that's not okay,
yeah.
my response is usually if you want to act like a child, I'll treat you like a child and put you in the corner and time it.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
and then they get timed out, and then generally they're gone for the rest of that stream, and then they'll come back in a later stream and be like, "Hey, do you remember I said
Timing me
so and
out.
so, and you timed me out?" And I was like, "Yeah," and you just said it again. So guess what? You're getting timed out again.
They just wanna be timed out. I think some people just like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Some people come
It's
in and they try and speed run getting banned. Like I'll never understand the appeal behind it, but whatever.
It's just life. Everyone likes a variety of things.
Yeah,
Let
and
me
what
push
some
the.
people like some people might like tuna and chocolate. Uh,
Oh
Not
no.
my type of thing, but,
Ah.
I will never yuck anyone else's yum.
I guess I
It's a
haven't
good
tried that, so I
choice.
can't actually say. There might be a context where tuna and chocolate is actually good. I don't
I
even know.
just pulled
I
2
don't even
random
know.
things out of thin
Nah,
air, so,
yeah, it doesn't
um,
sound good, but I
no.
don't I don't,
Doesn't
I
sound
don't
like
know.
something I'd expect to be on the menu at somewhere I would eat, but
I think it's probably worthwhile to talk a little bit. So we'll do this more specific trophy discussion in a little
yep,
bit here. But I'm wondering now if you have advice to people who are interested in live streaming. You listed some of the responsibilities that you have in your life, and so I
yep.
feel like your perspective is probably going to be helpful for people because sometimes people probably don't have. They think I don't have the time. I don't have X, Y, or Z things to do this piece, and then I feel like what you just said about scheduling issues at least, or having potential scheduling issues at least, is an indication that listening to those inner voices probably isn't helpful. So I would love
Yeah,
to hear
so,
some perspective.
like, when it comes to scheduling, I always whenever I don't even post a schedule anymore for the last 6 weeks since the baby showed up because 'cause I'm just kinda I used to
Yeah,
do 8 EST to 11 EST roughly. Um, Times
nice.
are always flexible just because life happens.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not full time. If something comes up, unfortunately, I have responsibilities and I've got to do what I got to do. But here lately, I've just kind of been like, like I said, I normally do 8 EST to 11 EST. There's times I've gone live at like 3 a.m. just because I'm awake
Ooh.
and I'm waiting for the baby to wake for his next feed. And
Ah,
so
that's smart.
that's the
Yeah.
time that I've got available. So I'll go live. And most of my normal, like, loyal contingent aren't available, but maybe I'll get some new people and
Never know.
whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So I make use of the time that's available to me.
very smart.
And what I always tell, another thing I always tell the people, so look, I said earlier, when you're starting out, do it while you're having fun. If you stop having fun, stop, because the content will suffer if
Mm,
you are
yeah.
not having fun.
Yeah.
Um, if you are not enjoying yourself, it'll come through in the content. People consuming the content will be able to
Oh yeah.
tell,
Yeah.
and no one wants to watch someone who's miserable.
Yep.
Um, Two, get very used to talking to yourself.
Sure. Yeah.
Uh,
Like, if people who said like, "Oh, I'm thinking about starting streaming in a few weeks when X, Y, or Z happens," and I'll always
Yeah.
say, what I'm going to tell you to do is for the next 2 or 3 weeks while you're waiting for whatever it is to happen, um, while you're playing, just talk to yourself. You're going to feel crazy. You're going to feel like you're losing your mind, and it's going to feel cringy and it's going to feel weird, but literally sit in your room while you're playing and talk to yourself. Because when you start, nobody starts with 100 viewers. Nobody starts with 10 viewers. Most people don't even start with one viewer.
Yeah.
You're going to sit in on that stream with 0 people watching. But if somebody comes in and you're just sitting there and nothing's happening on the screen and you're not talking, and who's going to stick around in a stream like that? So
Yeah.
you want to be prepared for when that 1 or 2 people pop in for your first or second stream, that when
have
they come
something to
in,
say.
something is happening that will
Yep.
grab their attention and keep them there,
Yeah.
right? So
I love that.
that's another thing. Get used to talking to yourself because you're going to do a lot of it. Even now, I've been doing this 5 years. There's nights I'm live and I'll have 150 people in the chat because that's just the way the algo pops off.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's nights where I go live, and for the first 20 minutes I'm live, I'm literally sitting there talking to myself because the algo didn't push me up for whatever reason. It's just the way it is.
Luck of
Uh,
the draw.
I that's another thing I say to people. Lots of people will try and tell you they figured out the algorithm. No, they haven't. They're lying to you.
Scammers.
It's just black magic. And if
But
YouTube wanted you to know how the algorithm worked, YouTube would tell you.
Yeah, they would. Yep. And they're
If it's
changing it all
not
the time anyway. You're not gonna
yeah,
there's
exactly,
no freaking way you're gonna
it's
find
like
out.
changed
and
on like a monthly
not to mention
basis.
how many A/B
Yep.
testing and stuff they do as well
Yeah.
in the
Each user
meantime.
might have
So
different versions.
Exactly. Yep.
Yes. Who
And like
knows, man?
I can literally look at my analytics and tell you when the algorithm changes because
Oh,
I'll go for
nice.
like 3 weeks and my content might max out at like 1,000 views. Every short I post, 1,000 views on every short. Then all of a sudden, I'll have 5 shorts in a week that hit 20K randomly for no reason.
Jeez.
I cannot tell why. The content hasn't changed. It's exactly the same as what I've been doing for the last 3 weeks because my content is generally like I do some gameplay clips, funny moments.
Yep.
I do like ranked videos and stuff where I'm like guessing ranks and stuff.
Love
But
that.
like,
Yeah.
there's nothing substantially different about what I'm doing, but the algorithm just decided it likes it now. So
Uh,
it like
it's
whatever. I,
insanity.
I ride the wave is what I
Yeah.
tell people. Well, I don't get too high in my highs. I don't get too low in my lows.
Keeps it
I just
interesting.
keep doing what I'm doing, and it's gotten me this far. And sure, I'm not no big, huge, successful creator or anything, but I am successful in the sphere that I have people who show up and want to watch me. I have built a
Yeah,
community
man.
that enjoys each other's presence, and we're fairly non-toxic.
Safe.
Everyone gets along, so I enjoy what I do. I enjoy my community, and I fully intend to keep doing what I am doing. If I see something that I can improve that could improve the community experience
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or whatever, I'll do that. But generally speaking, I enjoy what I do. It's gotten me this far. I'll keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're
A-
doing a good job too. It seems like we're here now talking because you're
Yeah,
doing a good job. It's
appreciate
amazing.
it.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. I think that's really great advice. I mean, it comes back to what we were saying about enjoying the thing and like, I don't know. It really is as simple
And
as
it's
that.
not
I
just
love, yeah.
like, and not to cut you off,
No, no,
but
please,
just to
please.
speak on enjoying it. I don't just enjoy playing the games. I don't just enjoy live streaming. I don't just enjoy talking to the people in chat. I thoroughly enjoy creating content. I
Yeah.
like taking my clips and turning them into things. For a really long time, just to give an example, I really like the cinematic Rocket League edits.
Oh, yes.
Like,
Yes,
I
yes.
really,
Oh
really
yeah.
liked them, and for a very, very long time, I wanted to start doing them, and I just simply couldn't I thought it was just too hard to do. I thought it was gonna be too
Mhm.
difficult, and I didn't think I would be able to find the time to get that skill.
Yeah.
Um, and then probably about 8 months ago, I was like, "You know what?" I had seen another it was on TikTok, um, and I had seen the video and I was like, it inspired me with an idea for a Rocket League edit, and I was like, well, if I get a clip that I think that could fit that, I'll bite the bullet and sit down, and if it takes me 8 hours to figure it out, I'll
Nice.
figure it out.
Yeah.
And the first one I did, it did take me 8 hours to figure it out. But I figured it out and I really enjoyed it. And I was really happy with the finished product. And now I'm to the point where I'm trying to do one a week.
Nice.
Because they are really time consuming.
Sure.
Um, on average, I'll say like a simpler one would probably take you about 2 hours for me myself
Mm,
anyway. A more
yeah.
complicated one, you're looking at 4 or 5 hours, and for like a 45 to 60-second video.
Oh, okay. And what is so simple would be like, I don't even know what I would think
Like,
about. What is
say
simple
if
and
if
complex
I've
one?
got, um, there was one that it's actually not even gone live yet. So everything that I make, I schedule it on YouTube, and anyone who's a member of my channel gets access to it first. So if like
Got it.
I've got videos scheduled out till actually the next one that I put up will be scheduled for January 1st. So I'm scheduled out right to the end of December.
Nice.
Um, but anyone who's a member on my oh, it's the new map. It's so
It's the new one.
pretty.
You're in Paris, France, my man.
Oh,
There's a French caster too. We can't hear that, but I think you
Yeah,
probably
I can
can.
hear him. Yeah. It is.
Yes.
I really, really like this map. Really,
Yeah,
really like it.
it
I'm
is
looking
beautiful.
forward to making an edit on this map. I already have a song in
Yes.
mind.
Let's go.
But
Let's go.
um, what was I going to say?
About the
I'm
cinematic.
not
What's like a
in the game.
complicated
Wait, how are you
he's in the
not in the
game,
game
yeah.
with me?
I have no idea. No
Are
clue.
you in a different game?
I'm on free play.
Sometimes if you go to the lobby and then the leader or whatever stays in, it splits you up,
That's
I
so weird.
think.
Okay. Anyway, I'll
It
finish this
is.
game and I'll be right back with you. What was I saying? Oh, I just really enjoyed making those cinematic edits. They're really, really time consuming.
Yeah.
but
Yep.
I do enjoy making them.
You
So,
would.
like,
It's good with it.
I enjoy making the content. Like,
Yeah. The
not
mechanics of actually creating the things.
yeah, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yep.
have fun in DaVinci Resolve. Sometimes it's frustrating, but
Sure. Sure. Of course.
that's everything, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I enjoy creating the content. So, like,
Yeah.
you'll have people who have editors. I don't know that I'd ever have an editor unless I got to a point where I simply didn't have the time to edit. Like, if I
Right.
went to full-time content creation and I was streaming 40 hours a week, probably not going to take the extra 10, 15, 20 hours to actually edit myself. And I would
Yeah.
hope that at that point, if I'm at 40 hours a week streaming, I'm
Financially
making
able
enough
to
that
do
I
it.
can
Yeah.
Yeah.
Able
afford
to
to have
get one.
someone to
Yeah.
do that for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Ooh.
but yeah, I do genuinely enjoy creating the content itself as well.
Yeah.
And in today's creator space, if you're not going to create short form content, you're going to have a very, very difficult time growing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I don't even know what you would be doing if you weren't. I mean, you could do long form, I guess.
And I
But
mean, and long form is having a resurgence with YouTube. They're damn, they're changing how they're according to
interesting.
again, it's all
Mystery.
EBGB mumbo jumbo, but
Yes.
they're supposed to be changing how the platform works for long form to give it
Yeah.
more discoverability because a lot of people were complaining about how they started to push short form way too much.
Mm.
So they're not changing how they do short form, but they're going to change the way that they do long form to give it more discoverability. Is the
Interesting.
word on the street. So I've actually been thinking about getting into more so long form myself because I used to do long form content first when
Yeah.
I started, and I enjoyed making long form. There was just no return on investment for the
Yeah.
time spent doing it. I
Yeah.
was better off spending that time making 5 or 6 short form videos rather than the long form because the long form was getting 20 views and those 5 or 6 short form videos might get 5,000 each, right?
What long form would you do, or are you interested
So
in or
when I had
categories, I guess?
originally done long form, I did like best plays of the week. Like I do like my best 10 plays of the week from stream.
Hmm.
And then sometimes I do like a lot of Rocket League players do it where they'll just go live or not go live. They'll play 3 games and just have a chat about
Right.
like whatever's going on in their life that
Yep.
week or whatever, right?
Yep.
I think Coconut does a daily
Yes.
three ranked video.
Yep.
I know Reddles does his videos, same type
Yes.
of style.
Classic.
Uh,
Beast mode
like
even. I think he talked about NRG's thing, and
yeah.
it
So
was like an
and
apology video.
it works for those guys because they have the connection to bring in people who are interesting
Yep.
uh for viewers to see. Like Reynolds is like, "Oh, I'm playing with Arsenal today. I'm playing
Right.
with Beast Mode. I'm playing with
Yep.
Zen or like you know what I mean. He could be
Yep.
playing with anybody, any of the pros or retired pros or whatever. So it works for them that way. And in Coconut, I've always said this. I truly do admire Coconut. I think he's
Yeah.
really good at what he does. He has a really good personality for what he does. He has a really good creative mind.
Yeah.
Um, like he really is cut out for what he's doing, and I wish him nothing but success because like he's really
He's
good at
doing
what
a
he
good
does.
job. Yeah.
Um, and there's a lot of things that he's done, and I won't say like because realistically in the creator space, there's nothing really that's innovative.
Right. Right.
Um,
Right. Right.
because if you do something, guaranteed there's someone else that has done something at least similar enough that someone's going to say
Yeah.
you're copying them.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not even the
but
point, really. I mean,
it's not even the
innovative. I
point.
mean, yeah.
Well, like I do the Rankle videos. I started doing Rankle videos and yeah, I got a teammate that's quitting on me. Well, I wasn't paying attention, so I can't say I blame him.
It's life right there. We're witnessing real Rocket
What
League.
live trolling? Sorry, wasn't paying attention. Giving
Mm.
an interview. Please keep
Hey.
trying.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
That's
Oh,
funny.
so yeah, realistically, there's not really all that much that you can say is innovative, especially
Yeah.
in the Rocket League space. They haven't changed the game. How can you expect creators to innovate? You know what I mean? The most
Yep.
innovative one you'll see is like Lethmere with all of his maps that he makes and all
Yeah,
that.
I
That
agree
stuff
with
is
that.
innovative. right?
Yeah.
But even him, like I've seen some of his newer stuff. He's like, I don't even know what to do at this point. Like
He's juiced.
I'm running
He's
out of things to do, and
yeah.
he just creates brand new stuff with this game. But
Yeah.
when it comes to like, so I started doing the ranked videos. I think it was like a month or two after Coconut did, and I had just seen one or two of Coconut's, and I actually messaged him and was like, "Yo, I see you're doing these ranked videos. I was thinking about doing something similar, but you kind of beat me to it. Is it you won't feel like I'm encroaching on you if I started doing them?" And I fully did not expect him to respond to me,
Yeah.
because I mean I'm a pipsqueak compared to his level. Um, but he
You never
did
know.
full credit. He responded to me and he was like, "Sure, man, you do your thing. Like, go right ahead." And like
Um,
I've got almost 700, or I got 650 plus of them posted now. I've been doing them for coming up on 2 years, and I still get people who comment and be like, "Bro thinks he's coconut." I'm like, "Nah."
maybe.
I wish
Coconut's a
I was
great
coconut,
person.
but like, I
Yeah.
mean,
Who
coconut's pretty
doesn't?
cool and he's pretty great at Rocket League and he's pretty
Yes.
successful. But
It's a
like,
fine person to yeah. Now, I don't think people would actually want innovative content. That's the thing. If people truly valued new things all the time, it would be there. Like people don't
exactly.
really people like Mr. Beast content. There's it
Yep.
just is what it is. We're not
And
trying to reinvent the wheel here. We're trying to have a
when
good
it
time,
comes to
I
Rocket
think.
League, I hear a lot of people complain like they haven't changed anything about the game.
Yeah.
And what I always say to people is that what would you have them change? It's car
Yeah.
soccer.
Yeah.
Like, how do you want them to fundamentally change the game when they've got this that works as it is? It has been as successful as it has been. If it was handled properly by Epic and the powers that be,
Yeah.
I thoroughly 100% believe that this could be one of, if not the premier esport in the
Yeah.
world,
Oh yeah,
if
for
Yeah.
sure.
it was handled properly, but it has
Heartily
been
agree.
handled like a joke. That
Yeah.
again, a discussion for another
Agreed.
time.
Agreed.
Um,
Yeah, there's all kinds
but
of auxiliary issues, but the core gameplay loop itself, like getting into game, hitting the ball with the car is there's not
exactly,
really what are you gonna change?
it's perfect because
Yeah.
it's simple. B-
Yeah.
But and again, not to say the game is easy.
Right,
Saying
right, right.
something simple does not mean it's easy. It's
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
very, very hard to get good at it because of how simple it is,
Yep.
right? But innovative wise, I couldn't care less what the rocket passes are. I get them every time. I'm
Yeah.
playing the game. I might as well get the stuff that you get
Yep.
for the rocket pass.
Yep.
Um,
It's just part of the fun. Yeah, I
and
think
then like,
there could be differences, like, core gameplay wise, I don't think anything needs to change. I think it's
Yeah,
fine.
no,
It would
no.
be really
I
dope if
I
they had, like, an RLCS style major that I could sign up for. Not paid, but just like, I wanna sign up for a mini Swiss bracket into a single elim. I
and
wish they
yeah,
would
like so,
do
so they
things like
got like the in-game tournaments, but they don't
yeah.
work the same
No.
as
Yeah.
the real
And
RLCS,
like the
right?
spectating experience. So I don't know if you ever crack open Dota 2, their spectating experience is incredible. You can easily download replays. If it's a professional replay, they'll have the casting track and the like casting camera as an option that you can view. So having like if
That's
I could
cool.
hop into Last Worlds and have the actual casting while I'm watching the replay, that would
Yeah.
be amazing. There's
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
there are things that would be nice, but in terms of like the actual I mean, training could probably stand to have which is what Trophy is addressing, but training itself could probably have, stand to have an update at least, it's been 10
Yes.
years. Come on,
Um,
I
baby.
think they need
like
to just they
why
need
are custom training packs or custom training like rings maps and stuff? Why is that not on console?
Yeah, dude. Oh my.
Why?
yeah,
Why?
it doesn't make
What
any
is the
sense.
reason? I realize that it's difficult to implement these things after the game is released and it's been out whatever how many 10 years or whatever.
Yeah,
And it is what it is and you got to like it all has to be like ported and all whatever. I don't know all the technical mumbo jumbo, but like I realize it's
rings, bro.
difficult. You've
Well, they
had 10 years.
I mean, they put rings in Fortnite too, kind of, didn't they? Like,
Yeah.
not exactly, but they did a similar facsimile,
Yep.
at least. Yeah,
You've had 10 years. So if instead of complaining about how difficult it is to do, you just did it
yep,
at some point over the last 10 years, it'd be done.
Right.
So
It
just
would be
do it. Like
just
like,
yeah.
it doesn't make sense to me.
They just need to add another dev. I think they have 2 devs on their team probably, and then, whatever the artist making the things. Sean, I think did you have something that you were wanting to
Yeah. I think that, in as far as things that they could do to the game to make it better, I think fix the ranking system needs to a serious overhaul,
I
especially since
yeah.
given the fact that like just the weight at people in the way,
Ooh.
will
What's up?
sorry, I can't think and play.
He scores when he gets fired up. I love it. You gotta keep Sean in the state.
But like no, just like the way that people quit games and just throw games, like it's way too prevalent. And like
Oh,
I feel
man,
like there
yeah.
should be like a way to report that if someone gets reported and banned for doing that, you should get your MMR back. Like there should be stuff like
Oh,
that.
I
Then
fully agree.
you
Yeah,
know what
I
I mean?
fully agree. Yeah.
Like there are little things just like that, quality of life that like I should not get penalized because my teammate was a jerk. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
if like, there has to be a way to put it in the code or whatever
Yep.
that if I'm in a game and it's a 5-minute game, and at 4 minutes and 12 seconds,
S
my teammate leaves the game and I'm now in a 2v1,
yeah.
why do when I leave the game,
Yeah,
that
you
is
lose.
a clear loss, I still lose the same amount of MMR that my
Right.
teammate lost for abandoning and leaving me alone?
Yeah.
Exactly. Those are the things that like they need to do in the game. Like they could make it so much better in that way, and I think it would be something that would make a lot of like newer players, like who are getting smurfed on or things like that. Like it would give them attention. Like they wouldn't feel like they're being screwed over
Yep,
constantly.
Yeah.
100%. And I also something else along the same vein. I feel like that if I'm in a game and on the scoreboard I've got 900 points and my teammates got 150 and we win, I'm not asking for a big difference, but I should get a little bit extra. You know what I
Oh, if
mean?
you're
Yeah.
It
alone
it
and you
should be
win?
weighted.
Yeah.
Instead of both of us
Yeah.
getting 10 MMR, maybe I
Yep.
should get 12 and he should get 7,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Because like clearly I was more I'm not saying he didn't help because I'm often as a non-mechanical player, I am the more passive of the two people. So I
Yeah.
will often be at the bottom of the scoreboard and I'm okay with that because ultimately
Well,
I just want to win.
yeah, I
Um
think if the scoring system were updated to actually reflect, like, impact on the field, so sure, at the base level, the scoring system of goals, assists, that does not give you a complete picture, and in fact, when we're looking at data on our back end, we have a bunch more info we capture, and then you can run machine learning to see, like, a player's positioning, like, how well
yep,
they did things. Obviously, this would be a big project, however, it's been 10 years. Surely they have an idea about the type of data that they're getting. They can probably describe players as archetypes like pretty accurately at this point,
yeah.
simply because they know more and they probably capture more data internally. So it
Yeah.
would be nice. It would be nice if
And I
they
feel
like,
like doing
yeah,
doing what I suggest, like say, like weighting the score in a way that determines the distribution of MMR would also it's not obviously not going to completely eradicate it, but I feel like it would also limit or reduce the amount of smurfing that you get because smurfing would be less effective.
yep,
If you queue into a game with a Smurf who's GC2 and you're in C1 and they carry you to a win and they got 1200 score and you've got 100 because you just sat on the goal line all game, you're going to get like 4 MMR from that. So
yep,
you're going to have to win double or triple the amount of games to get you to the same rank they would the way it currently works,
yep.
right? So I feel
It's
like
just,
and that's just another way to combat that. I'm not saying it's the best way. The best way is to just simply make people pay for the game. Um,
yeah, yes,
but
free
that's
to
not gonna
play
happen
Well,
either.
changed much. Free to play changed things.
Yeah,
There was still stuff before, but I think it's just a different level now.
yeah.
So
yeah, I
it
mean, they
is
could.
what
It's
it
just so much they could do, and like even if they would just try something, like you know what I mean. They haven't
Do
tried
anything is
anything.
better
They
than
have.
nothing.
They've done nothing. Literally
Actually, that's a
nothing.
lie. That's a lie. They did something. You want me to tell you what they did? They made an
is.
announcement about it a while back. So they made it
Uh,
so that uh, if you're in a party, you're more likely to queue against an account that resembles a Smurf
oh,
because
interesting.
I'll tell you why. If you're in a party, you are more likely to queue against another party.
Yep.
And when people are smurfing and getting carried, they're in a party.
Yep.
So if you're partied up, you are just by default more likely to see a Smurf because Smurfs are usually in parties. Um, so
God.
their resolution to smurfing was, well, if you're playing a game with a friend, you're probably smurfing. So we'll make you have to play against Smurfs. So if in actuality, if you and your friend both belong in the rank that you're playing in, it's going to be harder for you to rank up because you're more likely to see Smurfs because you have a friend.
Yeah,
Because you
it's
have a
just
friend to play the
insane.
game with, you have to play against people who shouldn't be there.
That's just
Um,
insane.
yeah, that was their resolution.
It's
And as far as I can remember, that's the only thing they've done to combat smurfing.
Oh god.
Now, obviously, with the DDoS and the bots and everything that's been going on lately, they're working on that, but that's a whole other issue. That's some deep, deep stuff. Like
Yep.
DDoSing is like fully illegal. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
not just cheating at a video game.
Yeah, yeah.
You're literally breaking the law by DDoSing. So
You know,
that's a whole other can of worms.
I
Smurfing
mean,
is
to
smurfing.
tell yeah, it's illegal, but I mean, managing that is probably just insane.
Exactly.
I'm not even sure. I'm sure there are ways. I have friends who are in security, web security, internet security stuff, and it's just like it is possible, but I don't think it's cheap to actually figure
No.
those kinds of solutions out.
Well, they released a statement there not long ago. It was like I think it was like last week, week 4, and they banned 5,000 accounts, I think it was,
Oh yeah,
that
yep,
that
Yep.
were, DDoSing and using bots and stuff, and within 48 hours, the DDoSers had found a workaround, and they were back at it again.
yeah. Like even Cloudflare, who that's their job. They still
Yeah.
have to deal with these type of things all the time. And then
Yeah, yeah.
Adam CJ says similar things. DDoS is one of the worst nightmares. I'm sure though Epic isn't probably doing the like absolute maximum they could be
Oh
doing.
god, no. They're ultimately, they're looking at Rocket League as a side project. I see
Yeah,
people saying, d I they're actively trying to kill the game. I don't believe that.
No.
yeah,
Now I have probably
They
said that
wouldn't
on
be trying to
occasion, but,
porting
like, I'm
into
not
Fortnite and
gonna
stuff
say
like that if they
exact
were trying to kill it.
they're not gonna make a purchase like Rocket League and then kill it on purpose.
yeah,
Unless it was like a competitive game. Like, let's just say, like, you were Call of Duty and you purchased Battlefield just to kill it. Like, you know what
Exactly,
I
but,
mean?
like
Like, that makes more sense. But there's no other Rocket League. There's no, it doesn't there's nothing else like it that exists. So
exactly.
it makes no sense to do something like
Why
that.
would they make a purchase of that size and substance and then be like, okay, we're just going to run it into the ground. If they want to kill it, they have the ability to just shut it down. That would be much cheaper and less time
Oh, yeah.
consuming than doing what they're currently doing. Just come right out and kill it. But I don't believe that that's what they're trying to do. I
No.
think it's more so that because they're so focused on Fortnite.
Yeah. And the amount of money
Um,
that thing is making.
so they're not giving Rocket League the time and resources it needs to I won't even say succeed because I still believe that the game is succeeding. It's still a fairly lively player base. It could be doing better, but and it's definitely decreased in popularity and I guess success. I backflipped. But it's more so anything negative that's happening is happening because of lack of resources and time
Yep.
that they're given to it. It's not that
Right.
they're actively trying to kill it, it's that it's not being given the love it needs to flourish.
Yeah.
And a little part of me is secretly hoping that the reason that it's happening the way that it's happening is because they're putting time and resources into Rocket League 2.
Yeah.
Because I really genuinely hope that there is a Rocket League 2, or at least like a Rocket League. I know it was like a meme or
The
whatever.
Unreal Engine 5 version or
Yeah,
something.
like or like port it over to Unreal Engine 5 or something. Because I don't want to have a world where I can't play Rocket League. I just
I
it's my one true love in gaming form.
think Rocket League will stay. I do think probably they are working on whatever the next version is. I know it's a very popular thing for people to say that they felt like Rocket Racing was the next was the
Uh,
like their attempt at it, but I don't believe that to be the case. I think
You
Rocket
know
League's
what
a big
Rocket
enough.
Racing
Physics is
uh,
wrong.
feels like to me? Rocket Racing feels like to me, you know those games that you used to get on like discs at a cereal boxes
Yeah.
like years and years ago? That's what Rocket Racing feels like to me.
Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's just like it's a half-baked, not
Yes.
good, cheap.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that it's that
Like, you
the only
can't even
reason it
do
makes sense to call it Rocket
mechanics.
is because they use Rocket League cars.
It's the
Yeah.
IP, yeah, it's not it's but I don't think the physics engine was anything. I think it was just Fortnite's, like, default car or maybe even a
Yeah,
simpler, like,
Yeah.
it's not
module or
even
something.
it it's
Yeah. We're all
there's
like,
no
"God."
there's no resemblance other than the vehicles.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, it's just like an approximation of what Rocket League might be like in Fortnite, but if you actually think about getting it integrated into Fortnite, it would be a much crazier thing. I mean, Rocket League cars don't even behave like normal cars. They like the
Yeah,
turning
like
is perfect.
I
They
saw
don't
something
crash
saying
when they
that
land.
instead of making a Rocket League 2 or just porting it over to Unreal Engine 5, they're gonna port it into Fortnite itself. So to play Rocket League, you need to launch Fortnite.
No, it's gonna be like, what they did with the other Fortnite stuff, that they've integrated, quote unquote integrated. It's basically you can still get it probably, standalone, but it will also become a tile within the
The
actual
launcher, whatever.
launcher
Gotcha.
of Fortnite itself. That's what I think is gonna end up happening. It's just gonna
Because
My
become like a
my
sandbox.
worry was that if it's ported directly into Fortnite and if they don't still have that standalone, um, the issue then becomes like Bacchus mod or trophy. How does that work?
Yeah. I think
You know
Bacchus
what I
mod
mean?
probably will go away for,
Yeah.
Rocket League too. I think Trophy we probably would lose the training side unless, they do a similar, like, custom map thing to where Fortnite has those Sean, you bring this up a lot, the kind of custom Fortnite maps that you can monetize. That might be an option, but probably we would
Yep.
my guess, I'm speaking out of turn here because I'm not on that side, but probably we would lean heavier into the analysis rather than like being
Yeah.
providing a platform for training. Or maybe
Yeah.
we would just move on. I have no idea.
Because I
But I think if
mean,
we were going to stay in, yeah, it
I
would look
guess
like that.
as long as the replay function stays the same, analysis would still be
Right.
viable because
Yeah,
that's how it gets the
Yep.
data for. Is it not? It uses the
you're right.
replays to data mine the analysis?
Yeah, I don't think we're capturing is that true? No, we do
'Cause
capture real-time stuff because of the desktop application. We have like between
yes,
match
but, like, say,
stats
when I go into, like, say, if I go into the analysis to look at, like,
view.
the deep breakdown,
Right. Yeah.
I have to connect it so that it knows where my replays are coming from,
Right. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. You're right. You are correct
right?
about
What?
that.
So that's why I assumed.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. So you're right. So it's uploaded to our system, or maybe it's parsed on the front
Cool.
end, but we're probably parsing the data
Yeah, no,
on
so
our
we take the
side.
replay file and, and then parse through the resave file on the cloud.
Yeah. It's a
It
very I've
just
seen
does it
it. I've seen the
does it
parser. It's
extremely fast, but, like, that's what it's doing,
yeah,
I think.
they collect a substantial amount of Rocket League data. So
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, the replay file itself has a substantial amount of Rocket League data in it.
it does. It doesn't have stuff like you might think. It's not as comprehensive as it sounds. If you've ever
Oh,
tried to
yeah.
crack open, it's like it doesn't really tell you when a demo happens. The game's not like car is demoed equals true or something. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like it just tells you that a car drove through the path of another car, and then the car that had its path driven through respawned, and then you have to like infer
And
somehow.
Yeah, you
I
have to,
mean,
like, code it into
and
whatever pulls
that's
out the analytics that
right.
when this
yes.
happens, it means this.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
things like, did I get a flip reset here? Surely that should be easy to detect. It is not. You have to like, and in some
Yeah.
cases, the replays that we capture are from our client perspective in a lot of cases, and that
Oh
is
my god.
actually missing data in some cases. So let's say you're in your own net defending, and let's say there's another player on the opposite side of the field. That player on the opposite side of the field, the fidelity of their data is going to be much lower than yours. So you can have all your movements, but it'll update maybe every 50
Oh.
frames for them. So this is why if you watch replays back, sometimes it's like weird. That being
Yeah.
said, if you save the replays through the in-game replay, you know what I mean, the new system where like you can view the games that you've played,
Yep.
those are from the server, and so it has a much better
Yeah.
glimpse about what was happening. So yeah, it's interesting. So Trophy has to deal with that. And then when when Epic or Psyonix decides to change replay formats, which definitely happens a lot, we have to fix things to make sure that we
Yeah, it's always great. I know I know what you mean by that because like, when, like,
I say,
say, when I was streaming with, Facebook, so
yeah,
most, like, bots, like chat bots and, all that kind of stuff do not support Facebook. And then there was one specific one who started supporting Facebook, and, so I used that bot.
nice.
But the problem was that Facebook changes their API so often
Yep,
and
breaks
doesn't
the bot.
tell anyone when they're changing it or what they changed or
Yeah,
any information whatsoever. So they wouldn't know that their bot wasn't working until someone tried to use it and told them. And then they'd
yeah,
have to reach out to Facebook and be like, hey, so like, we need your new API stuff. And Facebook would take like 2 weeks to get back to them and be like, oh,
yes.
yeah, here it
What
is.
what do they care?
Yeah. Like,
Uh,
for in all aspects of anyone who's ever had to deal with Facebook in a way other than just using it like to doom scroll,
yeah,
on like the
uh,
creator side, like myself, or on a platform side, like if you're using their API, all garbage. They don't care about anything or anyone ever. And if you want something done fast, LOL,
yeah,
get
you got to
wrecked.
pay them probably.
If you pay them,
You give 'em
they
money.
still don't help you
Oh,
because, I
brutal.
had so, like, the reason I stopped, streaming on Facebook was because I lost access to my live producer. I can still get into my creator dashboard, I can still see all my analytics,
Oh,
I can still schedule content, I can still use everything else except the live producer. And I
crazy.
actually had subscribed to, like, the Meta Premium or whatever, Meta Verified, that's what it's called, where like you get the blue check mark, but you have to pay a monthly thing, and that's supposed to get you better, um, what's it called? Better support,
Analytics or something? Oh, okay.
better
Oh,
support. So you like a direct access to support. So I had that. I ended up canceling it because I lost access to my live producer for the second time after already getting it back once. Um, and they
geez.
stopped responding to my support tickets.
What? That's
I
crazy. Holy.
literally paid a monthly subscription
Yeah.
for the purpose of having better support, and they stopped responding.
They're not
They didn't say, "We can't help you." They just said, uh, nothing because they didn't respond.
yeah, they're out. That feels like something you could sue them over, to be honest.
There's a lot of companies like that now. It's just like it's almost impossible to get it, like to get there, even somebody to do customer service at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to you about, I won't say any names, but the creator that had to give up full time because, it was no longer viable for him and his family.
Yeah.
Um, in large part due to him losing all of his monetization tools on Facebook for no reason and no warning, and support couldn't tell him why he lost it, and they just kind of said, it should come back on its own, give it a month. And he gave it a month and it didn't come back, and then he gave it another month and it didn't come back. and he also
He's
subscribed to Meta Verified and also paid a monthly subscription. And all they told him basically was, just wait and hopefully it comes back on its own.
oh my
That's
god.
ridiculous.
So he had a substantial following on Facebook, most of which didn't really use any other platform. They didn't use YouTube. They didn't use Twitch. They didn't, you know what I mean? So
Yep,
then when you're talking about, um, like, hopefully your community follows you to another platform, yeah, that's fine. But Facebook also had the reason I chose Facebook when I started, was because Facebook had the best monetization for
sure.
creators.
Yep.
So Twitch is 50-50. Um,
Hmm,
so like basically 50-50, you get 50% of what the person spends, right?
okay,
So
yeah,
if someone sends you 1,000 bits, that's $10 for you, but it costed the viewer like 20 some odd dollars when you factor in tax, right?
yep.
Someone subs to you, they spend whatever it is now, it's like 5.99. You get half of that. You get like $3. Um, did you leave or did I leave? Okay.
No, no,
Um,
I'm listening
I
to you.
left it.
Sorry.
okay,
Oh,
no,
Sean left, sorry.
That was the thing.
yeah. So ultimately, the reason I chose Facebook was because on monetization, they had great
Yep,
settings. So for their subs, they was called supporters. You got 100% of that. So if it costed $5, that full $5 went in to the creator's pocket.
yep,
They had, instead of bits, they had stars. Stars also were a conversion rate of almost 100%. So if someone sent you 1,000 stars, you get $10, and it only cost them like $11.50. It was like a little bit. It was the tax, and then Facebook took like a 5% cut of what they spent.
yeah,
So it was the best conversion ratio over from what viewers spend to what the creator receives. So then when you're talking, okay, you're a full-time creator, you're on Facebook, your community is used to the way that that monetization works. Now you switch to even YouTube, which is like pretty much the next best when it comes to uh, revenue split.
yep.
Um, so now if your community doesn't change how they were supporting you and they donate or whatever the exact same amount, you've already taken a 30% reduction on your income because now YouTube takes 30% where Facebook didn't take any,
Crazy.
right?
This is
So
crazy.
it is there's so much that goes into it. Anyway, so do you believe me about having a gift to gab?
I do. It's epic. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I don't know. So when you mentioned the stars thing, I know we got bits on Twitch. That just
Yep,
feels like in-game currency for some kind of gotcha game. At the end of the
I
day, to me, I know it
I
for
agree.
psychological reasons. It just is what it is. It's part of the landscape. But it's just so
Yeah,
funny to hear.
it was just like on Facebook, it was just more value to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, totally. I
And
mean,
I
it makes
I don't even
sense.
think stars exist anymore because they
Sure,
just gave up their entire gaming platform just recently. So I'm glad I made the switch when I did.
we're
But
just
just
riding the
recently
wave, man.
they gave up
Riding the wave.
everything. So, but it was just
The
more
face.
value in it because like if as a viewer, if
Yeah,
you're donating to a creator, you want that creator to get as much as they possibly can
yeah,
from your money that you're spending. On Twitch, if you spend $20, the creator's getting 10. On Facebook, if
yeah.
you spend $20, the creator's getting like $18.50. Like it was almost the entire $20,
Oh wow, yeah, that is
right?
nice. Yeah,
So there was
interesting.
just more value in it for the viewer if if they were trying to support the creators.
Yep. Yeah, Adam CJ in chat has had a few good points during this conversation. I have been
Yep, yep.
reading them. I'm not just gonna he's saying the amount of ads that Twitch has, they don't need 50/50. I agree, man. There was like a point where I don't know. Twitch was
And
doing a thing where every time you would switch channels, you would get hit with like another ad at one point.
yep,
I'm sure it happens still, but it's
it
just like,
still does happen.
what?
Yeah. I
What?
use Twitch very sparingly. And
Yes.
I'm not, if anyone who makes their home on Twitch, more power to you. I will never
Sure.
again yuck anyone's yum. But in my opinion, unless you've already got a following, starting from scratch on Twitch as your home now
Yep.
is just pretty much just accepting failure before you start. Um, because discoverability on Twitch is near zero. They don't push like
Well, they only care
on
about the top people, right? They're not really
exactly.
worried about
So on
yeah.
YouTube, yes, you go up and down with the algorithm. Um, but again, it, I'll often like I'm at about 4,500 subs on
Nice.
YouTube,
Mhm.
somewhere in that neighborhood. So like I'm doing good, but by all means, I'm no behemoth or anything. But randomly, YouTube I'll say once every couple of weeks, if not even more than that, I'll have a stream that'll pop off and I'll get like 25,000 views and I'll have like
Just
150 people watching at a time.
who knows?
Right. And so that's just the
Uh,
algorithm doing its thing. Like, so that helps your discoverability. Same
yeah.
thing used to happen on Facebook. Randomly, every now and again, you'd have a stream that just exploded for no good reason, but they're trying to help their smaller creators.
Yep.
Um, Twitch is like, if you don't have 200 people watching you, we're not putting you anywhere where anyone can see you.
Yep.
If someone wants to find you, they have to go to page 42 on the Rocket League streams,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. It's
So,
insane.
like, I on 3 separate occasions, I've streamed on Twitch. First when I started, I did Facebook and Twitch multi. I stopped Twitch because it was just
Not
I'll
worth.
say no growth. It was just nothing. Um, then
That's
when
so
I
interesting.
made the switch, and then at another point, because at one point I lost Facebook for no reason, they couldn't tell me why it was gone. I
Yeah.
just had to wait for it to go away. Another situation like that. So I went to Twitch at that point, and again, still nothing, just
Yep.
not good. Then when YouTube made the Shorts streams available, I started multi-streaming to YouTube and Facebook. The short streams, the discoverability on short streams is fantastic because you know
Hmm.
yourself. How many people do you know that just sit and doom scroll TikToks or shorts or reels
Yeah.
or something of the like,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Everyone. Even between Rocket
Um,
League matches, people do that kind of stuff. It's insane.
exactly. So when you're in on a shorts live, so my vertical on YouTube, it inserts that into people scrolling their shorts. So if they're
Nice.
scrolling and they've interacted with Rocket League content and I'm live streaming Rocket League, it'll put me into their feed,
Whoa, I love that.
right?
Amazing.
So and again, some like uh an average stream for me on Rocket League for my vertical on YouTube is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,000 views. But once every couple of weeks, I'll have a stream that goes to like 25, 30, 35,000 views. I had one that got to like 60,000. I'll have like 150 or 200 people consecutive
Eh,
viewing, like, and that might just be because they're pushing it out really a lot,
Yeah.
but that all helps. And yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
of those 50,000 views, maybe only 50 of them actually sub and come back or whatever. But that's
Yeah.
50 I wouldn't have had if they didn't do that.
I mean, it's just a numbers game ultimately. Like it's unrealistic to think you're gonna capture everyone. In fact, big businesses don't do that until you're like at Meta's size or something, right? Like it's just
Exactly.
not. So
Until
any
you have a
progress is good there.
monopoly on the
Yes.
scene that you're in, that doesn't
Yeah.
happen, right?
Yeah. And it's yeah,
But
even
on
for content
Twitch,
creators. Yeah. Go on.
there's no discoverability. Like
They don't like
where
the user experience is not good on Twitch, I'm gonna say. Like you gotta find your what you said is true. Like even for people you follow, finding someone at the bottom of your sidebar there to scroll all the way down is tricky. It's not like easy for me to like actually parse some of the text that's there because it's crammed together super
yep,
tightly. The icons are tiny. Like people
it's
have
not a good
similar color
UI.
schemes.
It's
Yeah.
not a good UI. It's not
Yeah.
set up for discoverability to help out smaller creators.
Yeah.
It's there to prop up the big guys. And
Yeah.
if you manage to succeed in the environment that they've created, good for you. But if
uh,
if I was giving advice to somebody and they
yeah.
were asking where to start, my advice would be YouTube. YouTube is the place to be, in my opinion.
Okay.
They've got a better revenue split. They've got better discoverability. They
Yeah.
are trying to innovate. They send out, it's, I don't know if it's bi-weekly or monthly, but I see it quite often. They
Hmm.
actually do, like, in my creator studio on YouTube, they'll have releases where they're like, this is what we're doing to try and help small creators. This is how
That's
this
cool.
algorithm works this way.
Oh,
Or like they don't straight up tell you how the algorithm works because again, they don't want you to know that. Nobody wants you to know that. They change it all the time.
there's
Um,
some sense though, some sense
but
of how it
but they
works.
give you at least something to work with, and they're
Yeah.
they're giving you information to try and help you. They're telling you the steps
Hmm.
that they're taking. Like the most recent one I saw was that they're actively they've heard from the small creators on the platform that
That's nice.
discoverability for their long form and their landscape live streams has not been sufficient,
Right.
and they feel like they've been thrown to the wayside. So they're working on a way to have a better representation of small creators, and they're going to be small creators are going to be featured more often on people's homepages of the niches that they're in. So like for me, I my landscape streams, I do both landscape and vertical on YouTube because
Yep.
generally speak, I do the vertical because vertical has more discoverability. I do landscape because generally speaking, it's a better viewer experience to be
Yeah.
looking at a
It is.
landscape stream than a
It's
vertical stream. Um, so I do both. My landscape stream, if it got 100 views, I'm doing good because
yeah.
they don't push that stuff. They
Yeah,
push
yeah,
the
yeah.
short, the vertical because that's what
Yeah.
everyone's on, right?
Yep.
Um, but like say,
Interesting.
I have noticed in the last week or two a very slight but slight uptick of people coming in to my landscape stream because I was on their recommended
Yep.
page, right?
Interesting.
So
It's
whatever they're
happening.
doing, it's working. So that's what I mean. YouTube is not only got the better revenue split between them and Twitch, um, they've got better discoverability, especially for vertical. Um,
Like
they're
browsing the old content is nicer on YouTube at a bit like they started as like a video library or
exactly
repository. It's just a
the
nicer
the
it's just nicer.
UI is so much easier to
It's
use.
better. Yeah.
And okay, so if ads is your complaint on Twitch, YouTube Premium.
Yep.
So if you get Twitch whatever what's it called? Like when I don't even know what it's called when you get
I
to
don't remember.
skip
It's like
ads for
turbo or
everybody.
something, right? What
There
is
you
the
go,
thing
Twitch
called?
Turbo.
Yeah, something like
I think
that.
it's Turbo.
Yeah.
So what do you get with that? You just don't have to watch ads. If
Right.
you get YouTube Premium, you get all your YouTube videos for free, or for not for free,
Oh,
for ad free. You
Nitro.
get
Okay.
YouTube Music,
Yep.
so you get other things that you can do. You know what I
You
mean?
can
And like,
use.
okay, so if you get a Twitch Turbo or whatever,
Yep.
how much time do you spend on Twitch watching live streams? I'm sure some people is a lot, but
But
most
most
people, I
people,
would say,
yeah.
even people who
Yeah.
use Twitch, most people are spending more time on YouTube.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
So,
Reacting to videos.
exactly, you're watching videos. That's where people post
Yeah.
long form content.
Yeah.
Um, so realistically, where's the better value for you?
Yeah.
Twitch, Twitch Turbo or YouTube Premium?
Yeah.
You get other things along with your YouTube Premium. You don't have to watch ads. It still helps the creators that you're watching because even though you don't watch ads because you're paying for YouTube Premium, the creator that you're watching gets so much because you're watching them.
Interesting. Is that the
So in
same for the Twitch option? Does it work?
I don't
Does Twitch
I
just
don't
withhold?
I don't
Ooh,
know. I don't know.
that's interesting.
I don't get enough action on Twitch to know that.
Oh,
Like
well,
so like again, I started on this
I don't
earlier.
think it's true. I think if you see the ad, like as far as I can tell from just consuming people's content, it doesn't seem like people are talking about when they're talking about their income just on stream or whatever,
No
they're
one
not
mentions
referencing,
Turbo.
yeah, they're not referencing that Twitch option. So I'm
No.
inclined to say no, but I could be wrong.
Like just to give some insight into why I'm talking bad about the discoverability on Twitch. So I for 3 separate instances I've streamed on Twitch. This most recent instance, while I'm still doing it, I still stream on Twitch. Um, I've been doing it now for over a year, I believe.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Um, I have 330 followers.
Nice.
In that same span on YouTube, I went from less than 1,000 subs to almost 4,500 in the
Oh,
exact
yeah.
same time period.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
I'm
because
pretty sure that when I started on Twitch this most recent time, like over a year, I already had over 100 followers. So in the same amount of time it took me to get 200 followers on Twitch, I went up 3,500 on YouTube.
interesting. And that I think so someone sees a short, they like what they're seeing from your thing, they just hit
They just
subscribe or whatever
they
it
just hit
is.
sub
Yeah. Yeah.
and
You're
then
good to
you're up,
go.
and then it shows them your content more often because then they're sub to
Yeah.
you. And
Yeah.
then eventually, even if they don't have notifications turned on, if they interact with your content enough,
It just
when you
yeah.
go live, it'll tell them that you're live.
Ah, interesting. I have noticed that thing about YouTube's algorithm where if you just it's the same thing on Reddit actually now. If you engage with certain subreddits enough, you're just going to get that in your feed like more and more. It's like increasingly.
Yeah,
So, it makes sense that it's the same on YouTube. They're probably using a similar algorithm, let's just
yeah.
face it.
It's just
Yeah, that's
look,
interesting. It just
YouTube
goes
is
back to the
just
yeah,
it's
it's just
just
better.
better.
It's 10
Like
out of 10, but
like
uh
and again, there's always stuff to be improved upon.
yeah,
Um, but of the choices available to creators right now, YouTube is better in just about every aspect. And then people will say TikTok. Maybe that's
I'm
viable
sure
in the
it
States
yeah,
because
I
you've
think
got
it
the
probably was before. That's just different. Times are changing, I think. It's probably not as clear cut as it used to be. It was really
yeah,
big
because
though for
you guys you're in the States. Am I right in saying that?
yep, yep, yep.
So you guys got like the what was it called? The creator program or
I do not know
there's
TikTok's
some type of program that you've got down
okay.
there that you get paid per view, like, comment, share. Like, if you
Oh,
got a you
interesting.
might not be a creator, but if
Right.
you just post every now and then and you randomly have like a video
Ah,
that's really funny that goes viral and it gets 10 million views and a million comments and whatever, you
huh.
could potentially stand to make tens of thousands of dollars because you had
Crazy.
a video pop off and you're not even a creator. We don't have that up here. So the
Interesting.
only way to make money off TikTok for a Canadian is on live streams when people gift you.
Interesting.
I've like I've always told people because I've had people ask where would you prefer that I donate if I wanted to monetarily support you. I've always told people when I was on Facebook, I said Facebook because I get the biggest cut. You're getting the best bang for your buck.
Yep.
Now I'd say YouTube unless you want to do a direct donation. Um, TikTok is the worst of everything.
Uh
So Twitch is bad. It's 50-50.
yeah.
Um, TikTok, if a person spends $20, I might see a dollar 50.
Wow.
Like TikTok
Uh
takes, I'm gonna say minimum 75 to 80%, if not
that's
more.
crazy. Yeah,
You
not worth it
can't
for you.
find the actual revenue split anywhere online. Anywhere. There's
Jeez.
no
Shady.
information as to exactly how it works. They will not let that information out, the same way that it's nearly impossible to get a stream key for TikTok in Canada. Like, there's like
Wow.
so I had to
Interesting.
go through a program with Stream Elements where I apply for a stream key through Stream Elements,
Yeah.
and it connects my TikTok through Stream Elements. I still don't know my stream key. I
It's
can't
just a
see it.
VPN to them or
It
whatever.
just it goes it somehow integrated in with Stream Elements that it allows me to go live. I
Yeah.
have no way of getting a stream key to if I wanted to use TikTok Live without Stream Elements unless I use their proprietary software, which is the TikTok Live Producer, which is quite literally the worst bit of software I've ever used in my life.
Oh god. They would.
Um,
They would. TikTok.
so everything
It's
they
crazy.
do is extremely secretive, and they want you to be proprietary to them if at all possible. And to like revenue splits and all that kind of thing. Like, I've had people who have sent, like, a bunch of gifts on TikTok, and I'll go look at it after, I'm like, "Man, they just spent, like, 80 bucks."
How
And
much
I'm
am I
like,
getting?
Holy crap." And then, you
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
wait a
yeah.
couple of days for it to update in your system, and it's like, "You have live rewards that are valued at $5.12."
Oh my,
And I'm like, "Where did the other $75 that this person spent go?"
crazy.
Right?
That's
So,
crazy.
I
Oh
always
my.
advise against, if you wanna support a creator, don't do it on TikTok, at least not for if they're a Canadian creator, because again, the American side of TikTok, the monetization works a lot differently. But for Canadians, at least, do not support your favorite creator monetarily on TikTok. Um,
Yeah.
and I can't comment on Kick. I've kind of stayed away from Kick just because
It's
I don't
got a
know,
little
just
shady background, to be real.
yeah,
It's the gambling focus is tough, to be
yeah, the
honest.
gambling focus is tough.
Yeah.
And the whole background, like you said, is a little bit. And I mean, for people who go there and make it work, again, never yuck anyone else's yum, but it's just not for me.
Yeah,
Um,
I suppose if you wanted to take an optimistic or positive twist, it's nice that there's a place for people who enjoy that type of content to have a
yes,
space to consume and create that
yeah,
type of content. It's just is
yeah,
what it is. It's not illegal. It just is what it is.
it just is what it
They're
is.
just
Yeah,
doing what they're doing. It's not what I maybe
yeah,
want to do sometimes, but hey, what are you gonna do?
exactly. Yes, and I can't speak. I know their revenue split. I just I don't know if it's true. I don't, because it sounds too good to be true. But
I've heard
apparently,
good
their revenue
things.
split is 95%
Yeah,
creator, 5% Kick. And
because the
I guess
main the
it
yeah
makes sense because of their background.
yeah.
They're just a
Well,
gambling company
casinos
that
are
has
well
a streaming
funded, man.
platform.
That's how it goes.
So, I mean,
I mean,
they
look at
don't really need the money.
yeah, I think it's
So
a
it makes
funnel to
sense.
other things, right? Just like Google has, I mean, YouTube is you get
Yeah,
Google Plus. It's a bunch of services wrapped into one price. Apple does the same thing. You can subscribe to the range of their services and get a lot of value because really they want you on the platform doing
they wanna
things and
have
kick.
their proprietary ownership of everything that you use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just how it
Um,
goes.
yeah,
Subsidization. Uh,
but
Speaking of
anyway,
supporting creators, man, we can do so. I've been scrolling your code. I just want to make sure it's JorTurtle, just like your name
yep,
is, right?
JorTurtle.
Yeah.
I often get called Joe Turtle. I don't know if that's an autocorrect on people's phones that it autocorrects Jor to Joe.
Yeah.
But
Now people do that. They see a word, they like, yeah, JOR, and then it's right next to this uppercase T. Maybe in their mind's eye, it's just like that T, that R has just been deleted somehow
maybe.
mentally.
But yeah, it's Jor Turtle. And I've always done the uppercase T just because my first name is Jordan, my last name is Turtle. So
Yes.
that's
Yes.
just what I've done.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we've touched on a lot of subjects today. I really love the insights into streaming. Like, it's a side that I'm not super familiar with. You're someone who is deep in it, and then Trophy typically focuses on, like improvement content, but I like having a diverse set of opinions and getting a perspective into content creators' lives is
yeah,
crucial. We got your takes on Rocket League, and I think it makes sense to get a take on like what you're doing day to day and what also
yeah,
goes into the other side of Rocket League for you. Um, I'm just flashing a view of the website right now. If people want to subscribe to Trophy, I'm sure everyone in the chat now already knows about this, but you can go. Let me actually get your link up here. I think it's trophi.ai. Is it JorTurtle? Well, you can go and put JorTurtle in as the code at checkout, I believe. So navigate to the page,
yep.
get it going. Sean actually had to drop earlier. He has family things he has to do. So
Yeah, yeah. I
it
meant
just is
to
what it is.
ask because I looked over and he was gone, and I was like, "Huh?
Where did he
Where'd he go?"
go?
But then I was mid thought, and ADHD kicked
No,
in,
no.
and yeah.
Hey,
Anyway,
that's how it goes. It's good. I think uh, before we've done a really good job here today. I think we're at 2 hours of streaming,
yeah.
which I think is around
w-
about what I want to do. I actually could keep talking to you for a while. Like, I want to be respectful of your time, and then I have things I actually have to do here. But
yep.
I think if I could just get you to talk a little bit, you have made content about this. We have it on our page, but you've already said some of the training stuff that you like about Trophy. Just talk about what you like, and then I would also like to hear about features that you would be interested in seeing as well going forward.
So, what I like is, I really like, um, so how you when you're in the training packs, how Mansell talks to you. Am I saying
Yeah,
that right?
dude.
Is it Mansell?
I've heard from so Scott Mansell is a driver. I don't know if you've seen Driver 61, but it's a YouTube channel with like racing focus, like IRL racing focus. They
Yeah,
do
yeah.
video game stuff too, but he was an original partner. So he pronounces his name Mansell. There are other Formula One drivers I've heard with a similar name. Anyway, long-winded answer, but I believe it's Mansell, but you are not the only person to pronounce it that way. So
Okay. So,
yeah,
I'll try and correct myself, but I'm probably still gonna
you're
say it
good.
wrong.
You're good. You're good. No worries.
So, Mansell talking to you while you're doing the training packs,
Yep.
um, and not even so much like the mini games and stuff, but like the actual like when you're learning the wave dash or learning the zap dash, and
Yeah.
you're making a
Yeah, dude.
mistake, and sometimes you don't know how you're messing it up, but
Yep.
then he talks to you and he's like, "You're just jumping a little bit early. Like, just try jumping a little bit later, and
Yeah.
you'll figure it out."
Yes.
So that's really helpful.
Yeah.
And I really like we spoke about earlier, when you're going into like a shooting training pack and you're
Yep.
looking at it and you're like, "How in the name of all that is holy am I supposed to score this?"
Yeah.
And so you just click a button and you can watch it. And if it's really complicated, you can even slow it down.
Yeah.
So I really like that. Um, I
If you
haven't
could
made a whole
choose
lot
a
of. Go ahead.
if you could choose a Mansell voice that was different, so let's say you could be any voice at all, what would one be that you'd wanna hear? We've done internal experiments where it was like anime voice or some crazy things, you know what I mean? So, what would be an interesting voice for you to
I was
even
gonna
hear?
say you definitely get a lot of requests for like an woo girl or something.
Yes, you would.
Um, I
E-girl.
I would lean somewhere more so that it would be funny,
Yeah.
like Cookie Monster from Sesame Street.
Oh, I love that. I love Cookie Mon or
Cookie
Yoda
Monster
would be
from
good
Sesame
too.
Street giving you tips in Rocket League would be just peak content, right?
Yeah, it would be. Giving you flip reset advice. Actually,
Yeah.
the curve dash one always gets me because I mistime the dang,
Oh,
transition every time. I'm just not
Curve
good at it.
Dash and, Zap Dash. I'm getting
Yes.
better with Zap Dash, but Curve
Dude,
Dash, I
I
mess
can't.
up Curve Dash so much.
I can't do it.
The timing is so hard.
Yeah, my brain, like, just I must be old or something. I'm just not able to somehow and I
That's
can
my
see when
problem
people do it.
with speed flips. Like,
Yeah.
I know the movement I need to make,
Yep.
and I know my issue is the timing.
Yep.
Um, so, that's the thing I like with the speed flip training pack. So, like, the speed flip trainer that you get with, like, Bacchus Mod is great,
Right. Yep.
but it doesn't tell you the timing. It
Yeah.
watches your stick position, and it just, like, tells you if you hit it before the ball disappears, you did it right,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
right?
It's not
But
yeah. That's such
the
a good
one
point.
in Trophy, like, it's been a while since I looked at it, and again, I'm sleep deprived as
You're
whatever.
good. You're
But,
good. You're good.
if I'm not mistaken, it gives you the timing on not
Yep.
only your jump and your flip, it gives you the timing of when you're rotating your joystick as well.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Yeah.
like, it all aspects of it, and it's so I I need to put more time into it, again,
Eh,
as you
you're busy, man.
I need 36-hour days at minimum.
Yes, please.
Um, yeah,
When does that
so
happen?
but, I feel like if I sat down and put a good session in,
Yeah.
with that, because it gives you that timing aspect, because I know that's my problem is the timing,
Yeah.
I'd be able to get a lot more consistent with my speed flips. So I really like that type of thing. Um,
Yeah. It'd be cool to do like a 0 to hero with someone, or I could do it with my own. So I don't do sim racing at all. It would be cool to start from like my knowledge level, and then just like go full. Similarly, it'd be cool if we could get like it'd be a cool giveaway idea where you get a person who is very new to Rocket League. So I don't know. I'm gonna say like silver or gold, maybe. Gold's
yeah,
probably
yeah,
where
yeah,
people will start posting and asking for help. So that probably would
yeah.
be a good point to grab them. And then just
But
see if you could set up you know, curriculum and then see
yeah.
if they would how high they
So,
would go.
I'm actually rare in the way that I already streamed when I started playing Rocket League. So
Oh, because Warzone, because you
literally
were doing Warzone.
my full growth of my
Oh, I'm gonna
Rocket
have to
League
go
career
back and watch. I didn't know that.
from silver to GC
Amazing.
is all documented. Like you could like, and now obviously the live streams don't exist anymore because they auto delete after so long.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
like you can go back and watch uh my like competitive silver and gold clips,
Crazy. I love
right?
that. I love
From
that.
like 4 years ago.
I That's really good. I mean, you can get sentimental almost over seeing like what,
Yeah.
it's nice having the progress, to be honest.
Sometimes
I
I'll
should have
scroll
done the
back and
same.
I'll be like, I can't believe I clipped that. You know what I mean?
That's part of the fun.
Right?
Yeah.
But, like,
Yeah.
but then I'm doing, like, the Ranked videos, and I'll get one, and I'm like, I try not to be toxic, but sometimes I'm like, "Why are
Sure.
you clipping this?"
Yeah.
And then I'll think about it, and I'll be like, "Well, let's just have a scroll back through my TikTok real fast and see what I clipped when
Yes.
I was silver." Right?
Yes. If
Because
only everyone could be as humble as that, to be honest, the world would be a better place.
well,
It's good having the perspective.
yeah, and because people forget, like, what it was like to
Yep.
when they were down there, right?
Yep.
Like I said earlier about, the most, like, fun, like, haha, having a laugh Rocket League is when you're, like, silver, gold, plat.
Yeah.
Because realistically, you don't know what you're doing. You're
Right.
just driving around and hitting the ball. Like,
Yes.
funny things happen. You'll get a pinch from your own goal line that just shoots
Yeah.
across, and like you'll lose your mind because it
Yeah.
was so insane that it happened.
Yeah.
And then, like the other day, I was playing, and me and my teammate we pinched it off our own goal line that went across the field, went in the net, and I didn't even react.
Gee. Well,
And
you know.
I was just sat there, and then I looked over in chat, and someone was like, "Oh my god, what a crazy shot! Holy crap!" I was like, "How did you not react to that?" And I was like, "Uh,
Well, I've seen a
I've
billion pinches at
I've
this
got
point.
12,000 wins, so
Yeah.
I probably got 25,000 games or
Yeah.
30,000 games." I've seen that happen a few times.
Yeah.
You know what I
Chat's
mean?
there to
So
keep you grounded. That's really
yeah,
the it's like, well, okay. You're right though. I've seen that from other content creators where they're just like locked in. I mean, pros won't react to anything, really. They're just
and
like
unless they're at our
dead.
LCS.
Yeah, when that
But
yeah,
there's certain
yeah.
ones
That's different.
because
Yeah.
like I've seen what are the kids call it now? Aura farming, is that what they
Yes,
call it?
indeed. That is
Yeah,
what they call it.
the no reaction. So like I've had people say that to me in chat. They're like,
Yes.
"Bro's aura farming," and I'm like, "No, I just like
I'm just
if
locked, bro.
I'm just happy it went in the net. I don't care what I
Yeah.
look like.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I now have one more goal than what I did before it went in. I don't care how it went in there,
Yes.
right?"
Well, I bet you if you psychoed, you'd clip that though. That's the thing.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you've seen
that's
a
the thing.
billion pinches.
Yeah, like, so, like,
Yeah.
a lot of my clips, like, I do right now I'm doing 3 shorts per day, one of which
Oh, nice.
is a Ranked short, and I do, like, that every day. Normally, it's 2 shorts per day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, but I usually do for the month of December, because as you can see, I've got my Christmas tree set up. I don't want to be posting Christmas tree clips in April, so what I
Yeah.
usually
Facts.
do is because I have a backlog. Like my
Yeah.
morning clips that are being posted right now, I clipped in September.
Smart.
So I've got all that backlog there so that I don't run out of content, right?
Yep.
So the morning clips are from September. The afternoon clips that are going up are from now. So that
Yeah.
during Christmas time, I'm posting the clips with the Christmas tree in the background, right? So then
Yep.
usually by like beginning or middle of January, I've used all my Christmas tree clips. Right?
Yep.
So then I'm not posting Christmas tree clips
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
like, April, but,
Smart.
I don't
Very
even
smart.
remember how we started talking about that. I'm anyway,
Is there a
uh
special trick? So I think we were on the topic of like clipping like things that you enjoyed or something. Is there
oh,
like a
yes, 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 yes.
special?
So,
Yeah.
like, again, I'm not a mechie player,
Yeah.
so, like, people will score double flip reset, musty, double touch, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's crazy, I'll clip that," and they're so proud of that, and I would be proud of that too if I did that,
Yes.
but I don't
Indeed.
do that. So, I have to look at clipping differently.
Yeah.
So I'll clip like funny moments where
Right. Right.
a lot of shorts I'll make because I very 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 often get the comment, if I had lobbies like yours, I'd be GC too, but I'm stuck in diamond and my lobbies are
Make that
harder
right,
than
buddy.
yours. And I'm like, okay, yes, of course, magically your lobbies are the hardest lobbies in the world. Of course they are. But two,
Uh,
um, I
uh,
like clipping stuff where it's like, okay, like just say for instance, I'm driving down towards the net and I just hit the brakes and the ball rolls straight into the net. The opponent goes
yep.
flying over my head, and I'm like, this is GC1. This is like this is it's no different. It's just we're
It's
more consistent, right?
it's a little faster.
Um, it's just faster and more consistent.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I like clipping those types of things and making like little shorts out of that.
I love that.
Um,
Yeah,
and then generally, like a lot of my it's just good rotational, being able to support teammate properly.
yeah,
Every now and then I'll peek and hit something that is kind of fancy looking, and uh, to no surprise, the shorts that where I have some like peak shots or there's
yep.
something that looks at least somewhat mechanical. Those usually perform pretty well because that's what most people are looking for. But what I try
Yes.
and tell people is that what I try and do with my content is to show that to get to the level that I am, and I'm not saying I don't have a big ego. I'm not saying that I'm this great player or anything like that,
Yep.
but I got to GC1 again, currently not GC1, but I got to GC1 without any flashy mechanics. None.
Don't need them.
So you don't need to spend 10 hours sitting in free play to learn how to
Yep.
flip reset to get out of plat.
Right.
You don't need to do that. You literally just need to hit the ball, hit
Yep.
it hard, have
Yep.
somewhat accurate touches, and just have good fundamentals. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
Don't
what I
wait for the
try
ball
and
too. I've noticed
exactly.
people in Plat are like, they just wait for the ball. What is
Yep.
waiting? What are we waiting for? Just
Yeah,
go.
just go.
You're
Just
first
like
man. Just go.
yep.
Just drive
If you're
forward.
if you're in front of your teammate, just go.
Just go.
If you whiff,
It's
fine.
all good. It's all
Recover,
good.
get back. But at
Yeah.
least your teammate who's behind you knows you whiffed and knows they're responsible now and knows
Yeah.
they have to cover for you.
And they
Right?
know what you're gonna do. If you stop, your teammate loses the ability to read
Yep.
the next choice that
Uh,
you're going to
That's
make.
one thing I
He
hate. Like if
knows.
I'm rotating behind somebody and the ball just like shoots up or whatever, and then they just stop.
Yep.
So I'm trying to keep my flow because then if something happens,
Yes.
I can come into the play and support you quickly. But
Yep.
if you just stop dead in your tracks, I have to stop dead in my tracks.
To
And then
figure it
when
out.
you make a bad challenge because you stopped dead in your tracks, I'm also now stopped dead in my tracks and I have to try and defend a 2v1 because you got beat.
Yes. It's
Don't stop.
insane.
Just keep moving through the play. And
Yeah.
don't double back if the ball pinches the
Nope.
move through
Don't
the
double
play.
back.
If you lose your position, rotate through the play and get behind me
Yeah.
so that I
Yeah.
can take over for you. Like one touch out is what I tell people.
Yep.
If you hit the ball once and it's not still in front of you and you can get to it easily, get out.
Just leave.
If it shoots straight up or off to the side or into the corner and it's away from you, get out. Let me
Just
handle it.
leave.
I'm behind you. You get behind me so that when I
Yeah.
do the same thing, you can support me,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
That is
so
a nice part about playing at higher rank lobbies. I mean, I've seen enough replays to know that every rank has its own issues. However,
yeah,
I think once you get to like C2 or something, at least those fundamental pieces start to become clear. People still challenge into the corner. They still dive probably when they shouldn't, but
yeah.
I feel like you
And
get the flow of the gameplay.
to be completely transparent, um, I've fallen back into those habits
It's just hard.
of
Yeah.
diving when I shouldn't and
Yeah.
challenging in corners over the last 6 weeks because I've been playing down and it's like you play in those lobbies where that kind of thing happens
Yeah.
and it just kind of rubs off on you
Yep. Yep.
and you just start
It
doing it.
does. You sink
Um,
into the mud.
yeah, so I've been solo queuing a lot because I'm
Yeah.
on at weird times with the newborn and everything.
Mhm.
And so just there the other day I played with one of my teammates who I normally play with for the first time in a while. And he was like, "Man, what are you doing? Like you're not playing like you at all." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's
Oh.
like, "You're doing your dive in and like your rotations, like they're good, but they're just not what they used to be. And
Yeah.
like your touches aren't accurate at all. You're just getting a touch to get a touch. You're not you don't have a
Oh,
plan when you're
that's a
and I'm like
painful one.
and I'm thinking, I'm like, "Holy crap, he's right. Make no
Yep.
wonder I'm struggling so hard." It's like,
Yeah.
right? But it's because you get monkey see, monkey do,
Yeah,
right?
you lose
You get
perspective. Yeah,
you lose
it's
perspective when you're
yeah.
and you don't have that feedback other
Yep.
than your teammate who is awful telling you how awful you are. And I'm like, "Sorry, but your opinion doesn't matter to me."
Yeah.
Like, you're
Yeah.
and well, I
Yes.
another thing I always say to people is, like, if somebody, like, beats you by, like, 1 goal and they're like, "Bu brother, you're trash, da 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 da,"
Easy.
and I'm like, "Okay, so you clearly don't understand how skill-based matchmaking works, because if I'm bad, you're here too, which means you're bad."
Yeah.
Right?
You guys are like in a 5-minute OT and they finally get a somehow scrape a goal in.
GG,
Easy.
easy.
Yeah. Hey, that's
Yeah.
just gaming for you, to be honest. I've been
Yeah,
watching a
that's
ton of Dota replays, and that is the thing that is spammed the most after like, a 50-minute match. It's like
yeah.
easy. It's like, okay, buddy.
Spent 2
All right.
hours
Yes.
sweating profusely.
Yes,
GG, easy.
exactly. Typing, typing, typing.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's gaming for you. I think, yeah, so playing games like Rust or any super toxic game, I think builds some resiliency. That being said,
Yeah.
I have chat off in Rocket League, to be honest. So I'm not content
I do
creating.
not blame you. There are
Yeah.
times when I'll boot up the game, and before even queuing a match, I'm like, "Nope, not dealing with chat tonight." I'll just turn it off before I even start queuing.
I love that.
It's because you gotta just know yourself, right? Like, some
Yes, you
nights
do.
you're like, "Ah, yeah, whatever they say, it doesn't matter." Um,
Yes.
and
Chat
I mean,
off.
for anyone of I don't again, I'm not assuming your age, but of anyone of my ilk who spent their
I'm
days
old. I'm
of
Unk
of,
too.
uh, of of young manhood in those COD lobbies years ago,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
there's some
Yes.
vile things said in those lobbies.
Yes.
Um, as an
Really bad.
adult now, um, some of the things that I'm hoping they're children that are
Yeah.
saying it, because if they're adults, they should probably see a psychiatrist. Um,
Yeah.
some of the
Hopefully
things that
not.
get said, I'm like, "How are you not on a watch list?" Like, how are you in
Yeah.
my Rocket League lobby? Do they have Rocket League lobbies in federal prison?
How
Like,
are you guys yeah, how did you have access to this game
yeah,
console? That's pretty funny.
um,
Yeah, I think probably the internet, you know what I mean? This is a whole, insanely long conversation about, like, exposing children to the dangers and how do you properly
yeah,
shepherd your child through the insane but I think when I was young, there was no regulation really on the internet, and so the types of things
and
that you could find easily, which you still can, but I think I don't know. I think kids
and
just have
that's
they
another
just
thing.
consume yeah,
So
it's just
you
crazy.
remember when we were growing up, and then your parents were like, "Don't believe anything that everything that you see is on the
Oh,
internet."
yeah.
And
Yeah.
now, who's the ones falling for the AI
Yes,
picture of
I know,
Jesus
I know. They didn't
sitting
listen
on
to their own
a throne
advice.
of frogs, or like they're like, "You see this? What happened down in Brazil?"
It's clearly a Gemini generated video.
Yeah,
It's like a half
Jesus
man,
got
half
8
gorilla.
fingers and 12
Yeah.
toes on each foot, and
Yes, yes, they're getting better at the generation, but it's still pretty well, I don't know. I wouldn't believe it anyway. I'm just like you, like, the suspicion factor from when I was a child is still there,
yeah.
so I just literally I don't trust anything that I'm
Yeah,
reading.
but I always find it funny when, like, just like I remember growing up, mom always used to tell me, "Don't believe everything you see on the internet." And it
She's
was
right.
only the other day she sent me a picture of a movie poster for Fast and the Furious that was
No.
clearly AI generated. Like,
Yeah,
Vin Diesel was like pregnant or something. Like, it was
I
like,
love that.
I was
That's
like,
family.
"Mom,
That's pretty
what
good.
are you doing?" Like,
Yeah,
she's like, I can't believe they're doing this." And I was like,
they're not
"You do
doing
know
it.
that's not real, right?"
That's because
Like,
'cause they're not doing it. You should listen to that disbelief.
yeah.
That's life for you. I'm sure I'm gonna get caught one of these days at doing
Oh, one of these days, yeah.
they're gonna get me eventually. Just know. I should
Yeah.
just retire to, like, it would be a dream to go live in, like, Banff, the Canadian, national I don't know what you'd call it,
Oh,
where you
man.
like, there's a national park, but, I
I
live kind of near the United States version of that, but it's
okay.
the dream, disconnect, no internet, just
I've always
nice.
said that if like, I still want my internet. I still want my gaming and stuff.
Well, yeah,
But,
yeah,
if I could live,
that's true.
like, 20 minutes away from the nearest person in
Yeah.
the middle of the woods on a dirt
Yep.
road and
Yeah, that
just
would be nice.
still have access to like all the technology, like internet and
Right.
everything and whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just want to be away from everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where I would live.
I
Um,
agree. 20 minutes is a good number too. I used to live like in a very secluded environment, but it was like an hour to the grocery store, which is fine.
that's a
But
bit much.
that's the logistics need to be the planning needs to be way crazier if you need an hour
Yeah.
to get food. So
Like where
yeah.
we are right now, probably about we're actually probably about 20 minutes outside of
Oh,
St.
okay.
John, so outside of the capital.
Mhm.
Um, but like we're not what I'd call secluded, like because
Right.
see now my idea of secluded and your idea of secluded might be very different because like again, our capital city has 200,000 people and that's a small
Right.
town in most places,
Yeah.
right?
That's true.
Um, like I
I live in
remember
Seattle, so my this current living situation is highly metropolitan. I'm just gonna
yeah.
there's just sprawl as far as the eye can see.
Yeah. So like I remember I was talking to someone from Ontario and they were like, "Oh yeah, I live in a small town." And I was like, "Oh yeah, what's that?" And they were like, whatever the town was, and they were like, "It's only 300,000 people." And I was
Like, well,
like, I could drive for the next 12 hours and stop at every house like that I see.
yeah.
Like it does for hundreds of miles around me, there's not 300,000 people.
I mean, you have an isle you have water separating you from the mainland mass too,
Yeah,
is that
like
true? Yeah.
our entire province, which for anyone who is not versed, I know you are, but like anyone
Yep.
who's not versed, a province is the equivalent of a state.
Right.
Um, our entire province has 500,000 people.
Okay. Yeah, that's and St. John's is what you said 200, so that's
St. John's
oh,
is
whatever.
somewhere between 200 and 250.
So almost it's half
That's our
basically.
capital. So that's basically half. And
Yeah.
then you've got an entire island and then a good portion of land on like mainland Canada
Yeah.
that is also like so portion Labrador portion is like twice the size of the landmass at least of Newfoundland the island
Right.
and has like 50,000 people.
You're that's north and then east a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Kind of from where you are? Yeah,
Yeah.
but I feel like in Canada, it seems it would make sense that the farther north you're going,
The
the
less people there
more
are.
remote things become
Yeah.
like, it becomes very sparse.
Like I used to work for a distribution company like groceries and like
Mhm.
household items, that kind of thing. And we used to do a lot of they call them the northern ports of Labrador. The
Okay.
only way in and out for 10 months of the year is an icebreaker.
Oh
So the
my.
ocean freezes solid, and the
Crazy.
only way in there is an icebreaker. So
What?
you can't fly there. There's no airports. Like you could take
Just
a
out?
helicopter in, but because you're so far up north and you're so close to the mountain ranges, the weather is just so unpredictable that they just
Yeah.
unless it's an emergency situation, they don't use helicopters either. Right. So
Jeez.
and there are
That's
people there
remote.
who
Uh,
live their whole lives there for generations and generations. And
Interesting.
it's like a community of like 150 people.
I watched a thing about the people who maintain the rail lines up to the very, like, northern extremes of maybe not all the way far north, but the types of things that they have to do even to maintain the rail lines is, like, pretty extreme, and then oftentimes those are the only like, lifelines into these remote towns just
Yep.
because it's just out there.
Yep,
I
just
don't even
out in
think
the
there's a
middle of
thing like
nowhere.
that in the US. There might be, like, in the West Virginia, the Appalachian Mountains might be.
Yeah, I don't say they're like so when somebody says the continental US, does that include Alaska?
I would think, well, it
Because I mean, it's on
you
the
would
continent. It's not
they
connected
would
to the
call
rest of the
so
US, but
here in the US, we would say so we have the contiguous states, which are all the ones that are connected to one another physically, and then you have the kind of I don't know how people would just call it Alaska and then Hawaii. I'm sure there's an actual name that
yeah,
people
yeah,
use
yeah.
or a label, but as far as I've heard, lower 48 is another common way
Lower
to
48. Yeah,
describe.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I knew there was a word to describe just the like the connected states. I just don't
Mhm.
remember what it was.
Contiguous United States is what I've heard if you're in a maybe a more, like, elevated conversation, and then I'm sure
Yeah,
there's probably a political
but I'd imagine that
l
there's remote places
there
in
are, so
Alaska similar to that.
in Alaska, there is, yeah, so it is, you're right, it's exactly the same. So as you go north, it just becomes harder and harder to get there even in the super
And once
s
you're
it's
there, it gets
probably
harder and harder to get out.
yeah, and the same
Yeah.
thing's true in the forest here. So where I am in Seattle, there's a Cascade Mountain Range, which extends up by Vancouver. It's just the same mountain range. So, um, similar thing where it's just out there. And then if wintertime, there's some of the roads are just going to be closed, or if there's fire, you know what I mean? Which I'm sure is true
Yeah.
in Western. I'm sure Eastern Washington has. In fact, I think over the summer, you guys did have fires. I remember seeing
Yes, lots.
screenshots.
Yeah, I work with a couple of guys who, were part of the volunteer firefighters that
Oh,
were
sure,
service and all of that, like, this
crazy.
stuff I won't get into it because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just crazy. I could talk about that all day
Yeah,
too, but
wildfires is a whole other deal too. Those
yeah.
people are, and the people who fight them are amazing, and then the whole thing is just
Like,
crazy.
there was just
So,
places like, he was just for one example, he was like, he said wildfires are so weird because you'd be driving through a community and everything would be black,
yep.
and then there'd just be one yard
Yes.
that was completely untouched,
Yeah.
siding perfect on the houses, no grass singed, nothing, and then everything beyond it black again,
It's
with
insane.
no explanation as to how it happened that way,
Yep.
right? It's
The
just
wind just
that's the
didn't
way
blow.
the wind drove the
Yeah.
fire, right?
Yeah.
But it's crazy. But yeah.
Yes, it is.
So I've taken up enough of your time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. If there's any final shout outs or anything you have, I did watch some of your content before we did this. I'm a busy man. I try and
Yeah.
consume things from everyone, but I think it's highly worth checking out. Anyone who's I see Adam CJ. I don't know where you came from, but if you haven't seen JorTurtle, maybe you are a fan of him already. But um, and then for anyone on YouTube who's seeing this, which we do post these later, check JorTurtle's content out. If you want to support him, use his code in the checkout process. I think you get 12% off for a year, and then he gets additional revenue after that, which is really nice. So, um, yeah. Any final shout outs that you have?
Not really. I'd like to thank you guys for the opportunity to not only be here, but just to be
Yes.
part of the, I guess, trophy ecosystem.
Yes. Yes.
I up to this point, I've enjoyed all of our interactions. I've enjoyed using Trophy itself.
It's awesome, man.
Like I said, I haven't had the time. This is not exactly a priority in this busy guy's life. But
Yeah.
I do fully intend to take more advantage of all the tools that are available in there. And I say it every time anyone mentions about it. I've still got the chat command set up so that anyone types exclamation point
Nice.
coaching in my chat, that it gives them a link. And anytime
I
anyone
love that.
does that, I always tell them, like, for anyone really looking to take serious their improvement in Rocket League, it's a very, very, very good tool. It is very comprehensive with the analytics portion. All the training packs are basically like a super advanced version of the ones
Yeah.
already available in Rocket League.
Yep.
It gives you the like, not only does it give you, so in Rocket League it gives you the line that the ball is coming from when it comes at you,
And
but
that's it.
and that's it. Um, the one in trophy,
You're
you see the
cooked.
ball, you see the line that you have to drive, like the recommended line. You have the pro example shots, or whatever you want to call them. That's all great. Like, it's a very, 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 very good tool for anyone looking to take serious their gameplay. If you're playing casually, maybe it's not for you.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want to check it out, even if you are playing casually. I
Yep.
mean, realistically, even though I create content and I play a lot more than the average person, technically speaking, I'm still playing casually. Um, but if you want to take your improvement seriously, if you're younger and you're like, I mean, aspiring to go pro or aspiring to be more
Yeah, for
competitive,
sure.
it's
Yeah,
definitely something you wanna look into. It's very comprehensive. It really gets into the nitty-gritty with the analytics.
it does.
Um, for a lot of people, they're gonna look at that and be like, "I don't even know how to use this." But if you're really taking it seriously,
Yeah.
those things will help you. like to
Yeah.
know your efficiency with boost usage,
Yep.
or the percentage of time you spend above the crossbar in the air,
Yep.
or how often you're near or on one of the walls, and your average speed, how
Yep.
often you're in the offensive zone versus a neutral zone versus the defensive zone. Like
Yep.
all of that information is very, very valuable, especially at the highest levels of Rocket
And
League.
I'm gonna jump in here. So just there is you haven't seen this yet, JorTurtle, but there actually is a model that we have, like, so a machine learning model that actually will tell you, uh, generally where you should be positioned relative to the ball and, like,
Please give
you know
that
what I
to
mean?
every solo queue teammate I ever get.
Yes. Yes. It's a probability cloud. It doesn't tell you exactly because there's no exact answer to I mean,
No,
as we
exactly.
know, like, there's no exact answer. But so there are features they're rolling out that address, A, the statistical, like, overwhelmingness of all these numbers in the analysis. So even on ball chasing, like, what are these stats even? What am I gonna
Yeah,
do with this stat? Like, I was in the opponent's half 60% of okay, so what? We won or we lost, like, it doesn't even matter.
yeah,
So, I think there's additional work being done to make those parts more consumable because as you grow higher in your rank, you don't necessarily need to practice uh, half flips, right? It's just not a thing
yeah.
you
You
need
don't
to
need
know
to
about. Yeah,
half flips.
you
You don't.
do need to
You might
know
not
about,
even need to
like
know how to flip reset. You might have those consistent
right,
enough, whatever.
exactly, like you've
Right?
been
You know what I
saying.
mean?
But you do
Um,
wanna know if your positioning is, like, gonna be okay, and you wanna know
positioning
yeah,
and positioning and uh and uh good knowing how to take a good 50-50
yeah.
is like
No, my
literally, in
50/50s
my
are
opinion,
yeah,
like
yeah,
90% of the game.
I agree. Yeah.
Like
50/50s are probably one of the most like, if you see someone so the reason I know if I'm up against someone who's cracked is because if they have 0 boost, they're still doesn't matter. Challenge, 50/50, still with the ball.
if I
Challenge.
take 3 or 4 50s against a person, and I every single time the ball ends up behind me,
Yeah.
like, it's just they're constant good 50s,
They're
I'm like,
cooking.
"Well, probably losing this game." Like,
Just gonna
because 'cause they're just too consistent with their 50s.
uh, yeah,
Um, and positioning, if you can properly support your teammate, whether they're really, really good or really, really bad, if you can figure out their play style and properly position to support them in whatever situation arises and take good 50-50s,
yep.
you'll win more than you lose.
Love it. That's so true. It's so you will, and you'll feel good while you're doing it because 'cause you'll just
Yep.
be winning the small and the big.
And
Winning the
you
many.
wanna know something else? I don't hear a lot of people say this, but I say it often. Players who play like me, I hate playing against them. Hate.
Yeah,
It's so frustrating because you cannot, like, and I'm not saying I don't make mistakes,
sure,
but
sure, of course.
I'm I'm positioned appropriately for what may happen more often than the average person.
Yeah,
I much prefer play against the guy who's trying a triple flip reset than the guy who
yep,
plays like me. Because I'm more likely the person who plays like me is more likely to have a counter for what I wanna do,
yep.
right?
You're playing the
So
high percentage play rather than what maybe works 1 out of 10 times in flip
exactly.
reset.
Like, and teammate wise, I like having a teammate who doesn't play exactly like me because then it
Yeah.
almost becomes too predictable for the opponents. So I like to have a
That's a good
teammate
point.
who has good positioning, good game sense, whatever, but
Sure.
also is a little bit meckier than me.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, when I find someone who plays like that, they always tell me that they love having a teammate like myself because when they
Yeah.
do try those meckier plays, those lower percentage, but whatever,
Right.
when they do try those plays, they can trust they're more comfortable doing that. There's less
Right.
pressure on them to because there's less pressure, they're more likely to succeed because they
Right.
know they can trust me to be in support of them.
Well, they need you almost so it eventually wraps back around, right? You need that first man to beat people, and a good way to do that is by using those crazy mechie plays
Yep,
so long as there is a last man to follow up
exactly.
on whatever is created from that. Yeah, for
So,
sure.
there's nothing more frustrating than like, okay, so I get into a game, um, teammates just not it. Like, I'm not saying I'm better, not saying anything like that.
Yeah,
We're
just
just
not
not
vibing.
vibing. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
we're just not meshing well, and they're passive to the point where they're too passive for
Oh
me,
my, I
which is
hate that, bro.
very,
I
very
hate
passive.
that.
And then I'm like, okay, I've got to try and do it myself. I've got to
Yeah,
try a solo play. I've got to try and whatever. So I'll go up and I'll be air dribbling, whatever I do. And the opponent, I almost beat them, but they get a decent 50, and the ball
yeah.
shoots out mid. And I'm like, okay, teammate
He's
should
not.
be out mid
No.
for this, and very least should get a shot on it. And then the
Yep.
camera pans, and teammate is in the opponent's opposite corner
Yeah.
with the opponent's teammate already halfway to our net. And I'm like,
Yep.
what are you doing in the opponent's corner when I am
Leave.
like, why are you
It's
in front of my position when I have
yeah.
the ball?
When that
Right?
happens to me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, "This game, we're not winning this game."
We're
Like,
cooked. Yeah.
sometimes it does turn around, but I probably the majority of the time, it's like, "Why are you not there, bro? Like, what is going on
Yep.
right now? Why are
And
we here?"
sometimes I'll be like, okay, it happened once. Maybe you
Right.
were starved for boost and you were just trying to beat him to his corner, and
Yeah.
it was just bad timing. And then 30 seconds later it happens again.
Like,
And I'm like, oh, like, okay, just let me out of here. Let's
message
just go
received.
next. Let's
Yeah,
just
I'm
go
just gonna
next.
practice my flip resets now. Okay, bye-bye. Okay. Yeah, it's I think as you go down in rank, what you just described becomes more, it occurs more because people simply are not confident. So they're just gonna default to this, like, they wanna rank up, they don't know how to read the ball like that, and they're just gonna go back to defense because they're so used to people, like, overcommitting. They just wanna be ready for what the kind of inevitable clear, but the thing that they rarely do at my rank is actually save the ball when the opponent brings it in front of the net. It's like,
Not only are they so panicked that they won't come upfield, they
yeah,
also panic times two once they
yeah,
get pressure of the ball on them.
yeah, no
Um,
momentum, sitting in front of the net, just, like, absolutely the worst position possible.
and a
Hey,
lot
that's
of
Rocket League.
times, like I say, Rocket League is there's a lot of mental that goes into Rocket League.
Yeah, for
If you're
sure.
not feeling confident, you're
Yes.
probably not going to play well,
Yeah, it's so true.
right?
Yep.
Because and that's where tilt queuing comes into it. Like I was talking
Oh
about,
my
like I
god.
tilt queued myself into oblivion this last season.
Yes.
Because you get into a losing streak where you just get bad luck, you get 3 or 4 bad teammates in a row, and then you're just
Yep,
like, "Okay, I need to do everything. I need to be always
yep,
defense and always offense. I need to do everything."
yep,
But then you start almost overthinking it, and
yep,
because you're taking that fraction of a second before you make a decision to decide what you wanna do,
yep,
that fraction of a second hesitation, you're cooked.
yep.
Because especially at C3
Yes.
GC, it's just the game's moving too quickly for you to hesitate. You
Yeah,
need instant decision making
yep,
immediately. If you're
yeah,
going, go. If you're not, get back. Like,
yep. Get out of
and
the
if you're,
way, buddy.
yep.
Yeah, I
And
think you don't need I think people get focused on being perfect, like, people will wait to touch the ball so they can get a good bounce and control, and it's like, just, get a good first touch to beat the man, try and keep
yep.
it close to you, and then try and hit it in a way that if you have a
And if
second
you
man, he's
don't
gonna
keep it
follow.
close to you, if you accidentally get a touch too hard and you can't get back to the ball before opponent, get out. Don't
Just
double
leave.
back. Just
Just
get out of the
leave.
play so I can challenge and then
Yeah,
know that you're behind me. So
yeah,
if I get beat, you're there to support. And guess what? Then you go. And then if you get beat, I'll be rotated behind you. So it's just repeat. Just
yeah. It's a simple game, folks.
there's a
It's
reason that when people talk about rotating, they use that like almost like the repeat
yeah, yep,
thing on like Apple Music or whatever, the
right,
repeat symbol. It's a circle. You know what that is?
yep.
Because you go in and you come out.
Don't worry, you'll go back in again, just gotta kinda get
Yeah,
around and get
you'll
ready to
go
go
back
back
in
in.
after I challenge and I come
Yeah,
out. Like
yeah.
that's why we call it rotating.
Maybe next time we can do a deep dive on that. It'd be cool to do, like, a talk with some of our coaches too sometime. I would love to do, like, a bigger combo at some point with it'd be cool to actually have people so we have high performing players from a few other games. It would be dope to have, like, all of them together in a like a single conversation and talk about like what it means at each level and try and see that. I'm sure there are similarities. There are probably intuitive ones, but it would be cool to like hear about the
Yep.
unintuitive pieces that of course like mental is huge in literally every game. I interviewed a
Literally
ton
every
of
game. Yeah.
yeah, like I have interviewed a ton of Dota coaches and they're like same thing. Mental is just like basically it's all. So
I know I've already said this, but, like, there's just so many parallels
yeah,
between,
doing things.
not even, just Rocket League, but, like, competitive gaming as a whole,
Yeah,
and I can't speak to any other sports because I only follow hockey, but hockey, like,
it's got to
there's
be the same. Yeah,
another saying in hockey that, "Well, he's just gripping his stick too hard." So, he's stressed,
I love that.
he's
Yeah,
thinking too much about what he's not just letting it flow.
I love
And,
that.
like, sometimes you can see it in some of my shorts. Like, I always
Oh,
twitch
sure.
a lot when I'm playing. Like, it's just I'll lean to one side or you'll see me
You're an
if I'm going
active.
for a real hard shot, you'll I jerk forward or
Lean
whatever,
in.
you know what I mean?
Hey, I
But
love that.
if you watch when I'm not playing well,
Mhm.
I do that more. Like, I don't just lean a little bit, I lean a lot, or I'll
Ah,
because I'm squeezing the controller too hard because
yes.
I'm thinking too much about what I need to do,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Interesting.
So, there's just so many parallels, and, like,
Yes.
it's like, thinking too much, and there's just so much mental.
You need one of those, like, meditation bells that dings, like, periodically to, like, bring your focus back to, like,
Yep,
"Okay, okay."
yep. Oh, well, I'll often, if I'm on a bad
You
streak,
should do that.
I'll just take a few minutes, I'll get up,
S
like, I'll be like,
That's
"Okay,
such a
guys,
good yes,
I'm gonna
dude, the reset.
go get a pee or,
Yes.
like, or get some
The
water," and I'll just get up and walk around, stretch, and sit back
the
down, and
chances are high that you're, like, physically need to do that. Your body is, like, probably, like, responding, like, there's tension and stuff, and you're, like,
Yep. Well, I don't know
responding
how
to
much you
that.
know, because years ago, I did this it's like a supervisory management professionalism, it was
Okay.
some kind of program,
Yeah.
and I did it for work originally, but one of the things they talked about is for long drawn out meetings, normally the human mind on average can only stay acutely focused on one thing for 45 minutes to an hour, and
Yeah.
after that it all becomes a waste. So
Yeah.
like for students studying 3 hour study sessions, you're only getting an hour,
Right.
right? For like long drawn out meetings, the first hour is productive, the other two you wasted time,
Just
like,
yapping.
right? Um,
Yep.
Same thing goes for long drawn out sessions of gaming. And like
Yep.
I've even noticed that if I start a night and I'm doing good, after the first hour, hour and a half, generally
Yeah.
speaking, it starts to go downhill.
Yeah. Yep.
So I haven't been doing this. Even though I've noticed that, I haven't been doing this because I get addicted because I'm just a fiend for Rocket
Yes.
League, especially for twos. Um But, what I think I wanna start doing is I'm gonna start doing where when I start to see that downhill trend, instead of just continuing to queue and hoping it changes because it never
Yeah.
does, um, I'm gonna, like, just switch it up. Go play ones or go,
Yeah.
just run around
Yes.
free play or do a training pack or
Change
do
the
some trophy
context.
training, do
Yep.
something
Mhm.
other than what you're doing to just break it up because yes, it's still Rocket League, but you're not in that game mode. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
Like right
yeah.
now, I've been sitting here for the last. This is this is the longest I've ever spent in free play.
Because 'Cause you're doing
Genuinely,
other things, though. It's like the kind of
yeah.
auxiliary
I'm
activity.
just doing it in the background while
Yes.
I'm talking to you.
Yes.
I've probably done set more air dribbles today than what I've done in the last
So you're
two
gonna go
months.
into ranked after this and be locked, watch.
Oh, for sure. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
I so on that what you just described, I'd actually did an experiment last season. So instead of doing just one playlist, I would just rotate through every competitive main playlist. So none of the extra modes. Maybe I would throw them in, but it would just be like 4v4, or actually it would start with 1v1. So I go 1v1, 2v2, 3v4, and then I would just go back to ones. And then if I'm feeling a mode, sometimes I would stay on for like one or two extra, probably one extra, and then continue on. But it does since you're
Breaks it up.
switching like playlists and maybe switching the way you're thinking about the game, it actually inspires you to get up and use the restroom or drink water like more because you're doing like a mental break between things almost
Yeah, you're
versus
not
just like,
locked.
yeah, just like auto cue for the next thing,
Yeah.
which, you know, I
I
don't
do
do
that
that.
so often. Like
I
I'll
use,
I'll very often say like, "Okay, this is last game." And then 3 games later, I realize I've just been auto queuing and like
yeah,
I'm a half hour later now and I'm like, "What the
it's,
where did this go? Like,
and
how
then
did this
it's 2
happen?"
a.m.
Yeah. Um,
That's, yeah. Yeah,
but
Adam
yeah,
CJ says the same thing. After 3 losses in a row is a big one I've heard. In fact, I was trying to make a Bacchus mod plugin that was effectively 3 hearts on the top of the screen, you know what I mean? Top corner and
if
like,
you when you lose your 3 hearts,
yeah,
you're cooked.
you're gone, baby.
Yeah.
But, that doesn't work, and I'm too lazy to finish that, so, yeah, that's good.
Uh, I got a
Yeah, man.
buddy. He says he plays until he loses 2 consecutive. So,
2
gets
consecutive's
on
good.
if he gets
Yeah.
on and he wins one, lose one, wins one, lose one, and he can do that for 2 hours, wins one, lose one, but as soon as he loses 2 together, done.
Yeah, that's a good rule, honestly. I mean, at the very least, even if you weren't gonna stop playing, let's say you don't wanna stop and this is like lame advice, but I think probably at 2 losses, you probably want a replay review,
Yeah,
which I should
exactly.
do. I
So,
don't
I
do
was
that.
doing that for a while there. After every like, if I won the game, I
Yeah,
just queue into the next one.
yeah,
If I lost the game, I went and watched the replay. Even if I
that's
felt
smart.
like there was nothing to be gained from it and it was
Just do
just
it.
we just got straight up outplayed or it was just a
Yep,
lucky bounce in overtime, they got a pinch randomly out of nowhere. There's nothing you could do differently. I'll still
right.
go review the replay just
Yep,
so that it's a it's again just a mental break,
yep.
right?
Yeah,
Breaks up
yeah.
the monotony of it.
And you might
Um,
notice something that you like, maybe you are rushing rotation or you're kind of flipping too much or you're
yeah.
trying to get big
That's
boosts too
something
often
else
or something.
I've been guilty of the last little while is flipping too much.
Everyone does
Because
it.
you get stuck in that animation, and that's the thing.
Yep,
All of these things, like diving in or challenging in corners or not
yep,
waiting back post
yep.
or flipping too much. I had those issues. I worked them out of my game. I got to GC. I held GC 4 seasons, fell back all the way into C2, and guess what happened? All of those habits came back,
Yeah. They're like the
right?
natural intuitive way to play. That's why Rocket League is so hard is because all of these things that feel like the right thing to do are often not the right thing to do.
That's
So,
what I say to people, like, so they people say like, well, just think about what you're doing. No, that's if you think you've already lost.
yeah,
You
too much
need to
hesitation
make
already.
those things your instinct, which, and
Right.
like you said, is why it's so hard because instinctively you want to dive in. You
Yep.
want to beat the opponent to the ball.
Yeah.
That's usually not the right play because in a
Right.
lot of situations, you don't want to be first to the ball. You want to be second because when the
Right.
opponent is first to the ball, they hit the ball into you and then you gain
Yes.
possession,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yeah. It's
So
funny. It's funny. It's
just
funny. I think,
it's you need to break your natural instinct and
yeah.
rebuild your instinct. And then that way you so when your instinct is built properly, you
Yeah.
get into that flow state a lot
Yeah.
easier. And I'd hope I assume you know what I mean when I say flow state.
Do.
When
Yeah. Yeah.
you're just sitting and you're vibing, you got your music playing, and
Reading the
you don't
ball.
even know what's happening on the screen. You're just
Yeah.
doing it, right?
Just
Like,
locked. Yeah, for sure. That's the when it's the funnest, to be honest. You're just in
yeah,
it. You don't have to
you're
worry about
just
anything.
flowing. Like
I think,
I've said to there was when I used to play with one of my buddies, we used to do comms. I generally I don't like doing comms while playing. I think it's an ADHD thing because it's an extra thing that I would need to focus on, and it makes
could
me
be, yeah.
hesitate for some reason because I feel like I need to say things before I do them. You know what I
And
mean?
your calm is not easy. So I just a tiny note on this. I don't think calming is easy. I think people think it's just something you do, but it's a thing pros work at and they develop systems and like
Yep.
structures around the concept and they are actively practicing. And if you think about how much they scrim, which is like 2 hours a day or more, that's 2 hours of comms practice as well. So I think it makes sense that you don't like that because, or you're not feeling like it's a natural process. Simply, it's just because it's not intuitive. We're
Yeah.
not here doing it every day. There's no training. It's something that like you have to explore and
Yeah,
develop.
and
So
especially while I'm live, I don't like comms while I'm live
yeah,
because
ignore the viewers and such.
exactly. It stops me
Yeah.
from the whole point of being live is that you're engaging with the community, and if you're not engaging with the community, why are you even live?
Yeah.
Is you know what I mean? So, but
I say yes as I ignore every comment that's basically been in our chat. I see you, Adam. I see you in there, and I appreciate what you're saying. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
comms wise, I'm not a big fan. But when I used to do comms with him, like there'd be times we'd be in comms, and I'd forget we were in comms, and we'd just be flowing, and suddenly he'd say something, and I just about jump out of my chair because I forgot he was there. And two of us are just sitting here vibing, playing, and we're
I
just
love that.
win after win after win because we're both flow in that flow state. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden he'd say something and I'd be like, "Holy crap, I forgot you were even there." And he'd just laugh at me. But and the
I
funny
love
thing
that.
is, after that happened,
Ah!
it broke the flow state. And then
Yeah.
that would
Damn
be
it.
when the loss would occur, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think so at this point, I used to try and really calm hard, but at this point, man, I have no illusion about my capabilities as a player, and I'm not really thinking I'm ever gonna be pro. And
Mhm.
so typically at this point, the comms that I have on the teams, I do a lot of leagues, amateur leagues,
Yep.
and usually we're just telling jokes the entire time. That's
Yep.
we do comms still, like I'm, back post full or whatever, or third man
Yep.
full. But I mean, I'm just trying to have a good time out here, bro. And then most people like really it's about celebrating my teammates' wins, not complaining when things go wrong because I just want to have a fun time. And then I've noticed other people really want the same thing. And so to me, that being said, if I was going to compete for money, it's an entirely different perspective and I would hard com and
Yep.
be very focused. But
Yep.
if I'm going to be on stream or something, it's going to be jokes and like vibing for sure most of the time, which is
Yep.
true about a lot of people. But
And generally speaking, most people want that relaxed, good vibes
yes,
thing.
it feels good.
Um,
It feels nice to do.
even like just for kind of, but there are people, and I'm one of those people. I like watching pros, or
Oh
like
my
not
God.
even pros, but high level players
Yes.
with full hard comms.
Yes. The best. Literally. If
It's
there was an
just so
RLCS stream, yeah. Yeah.
again, I'll compare it to hockey again. Like
Sure.
those intense
Yes.
moments during the game, you're on the edge of your seat.
Yes.
And like Rocket League
Even
is the
better.
only esport who's ever gave me that feeling, like that
Yeah.
intense feeling when you're like, you're just like, holy crap, I can't
Totally.
believe that just happened. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes. Yeah.
so
Like holding on to the edge of like your seat or something as you're flying.
yep,
Yeah. I think I wish there was an RLCS option to pipe into the comms. I know there's a billion reasons why that shouldn't be possible. You could have a delayed stream, I guess, but
yeah,
it's just I actually do not prefer the main broadcast because you're switching cameras all the time. You don't actually get a sense for what the player is doing other than from being like 30,000 feet away effectively, where it's like,
yeah,
he's flip resetting his beat. It's like, I would love to see what led to that moment. And then I would also love to hear what the players are planning and why this flip reset in the middle of the field is actually useful rather than it's just a cool mech, which is, that's the easy thing to attach to. I realize why that's the way broadcasts are done. You don't
yeah.
have to play Rocket League to appreciate that. But since I do play, I really prefer the,
I want to
build
know
up.
the thought process behind why they're
Yes.
doing what they're doing.
And
Yeah.
then when they pop off, it's like extra. The reward is like huge,
It's
just
like
like in
not
hockey,
only
I'm
did
sure,
that
bro.
look cool,
It was
that was
fucking amazing.
so friggin' smart. Like,
Yeah.
how did he think do that in that moment in that, and like
Yes.
that's why, like, at that level, when you clutch up, it's just so much more impressive. Cause
Yes.
like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
size of the
Exactly.
brain on you, bro. Like
Yes,
like
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
just so
Watching or
impressive.
like watching a defensive stand that's amazing. Like it's maybe not as intense, but Rawas on 0 boost saving someone who's just got done triple flip resetting is incredible. And then hearing them explode in the comms after they score as a result of the counter is like, oh my God.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
And that's why we play, enjoy Rocket League.
It is, it is.
I mean,
Anyway,
even on a
I said I
personal, yeah,
wasted
man.
enough of your time a half an hour ago.
Nah, yeah, yeah. I know. It's been a great conversation. I
It
really,
has been,
really,
yeah.
I mean, we haven't really had an in-depth conversation before this. Like I said, we naturally fell in talking basically right away. So it's been like a real pleasure getting to get your perspective and hear about everything, George. I hope we can do something like this in the future. I'm sure
Pleasure is
we
all
can,
mine, my
but
friend.
yeah, man.
I'd be happy to do it in sometime in the future. You
Yeah.
know where to find me.
Yes. I will
As
be
long as
checking out
I'm
your
available,
streams. Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Thank you again so much. And everyone, use his code when you sign up. Do it. It's
Please do,
worth it.
please do.
Yes. All right.
And never hesitate to drop in when like I'll say YouTube is my main platform, but whatever your preferred platform is, you can find me there.
Yeah.
I do be live on TikTok. I do stream on Twitch. YouTube is main. Um, I post short form content, 3 a day right now, normally 2 a day on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Um, that's one thing I was surprised Twitch hasn't gotten into actually, is a
Yeah.
way to post short form content there. Um,
That's just
yeah,
insane. Well, they have their anyway. Yeah. Yes. I
yeah.
agree.
But check all that out. And yeah,
All right,
like I
man.
said, right now my stream schedule is not a schedule. It's when I have the time. But if for anyone who's like wondering, like if I play with viewers and stuff, we normally have 1 day per month where we do open viewer games, so anyone can join those games. Um, Normally it's scheduled, but this last while it hasn't been. And for anyone who is a YouTube member or a Twitch sub, we do members and sub games once a week. So
Nice.
um,
That's
that's
awesome.
just one of the perks that you get for the monetary support
Do you
that way.
do that through your Do you have like a Discord or something? Do you do signups
So
for
I
or you have a YouTube
or
community, I guess, is another
Yeah, so, like,
just
I just go live and we have like, I have the bot, and if
nice.
someone wants to come in and join the queue, then they just type, exclamation point, "get in line," and
Nice.
it adds their name to the queue, and then when it's their turn, I add them or I invite them in game, and normally we run casual games, so, like, it's usually
Yeah.
2 or 3 at a time,
Yeah.
and, because we used to do, private games, but it seems some people just I'll say their competitive drive is too much and they don't know how to take it easy, and
Yeah.
they get very upset when they
Uh,
feel that they are being trolled
yeah.
because like if someone's Plat and then the other person who is in the game is GC, and the GC person is not trying to troll you, but they're inadvertently it's going to happen sometimes,
Yeah.
and then the Plat person might just for instance get upset, and then so
S
to avoid all of this, we normally keep it to just casual matches, so that way when they get mad it's not at someone in the community, it's at
I
someone
love that.
on the other team. um
Genius. Genius.
so yeah, so we normally have the open queue. You join the queue. We invite you in. We rotate people through. It's usually 2 or 3 games per person. Unless there's nobody else in the queue, then you just play to your heart's desire. If there's nobody else that wants to play, but we do
I love
usually do
that.
2 or 3 games per person. Then we rotate next new people in, and like there's no limit. Like if you want to rejoin the queue and get back in 10 or 15 minutes, you can do that too. So,
Cool.
but yeah, that's just some of the stuff I do. And you've given me the opportunity to say that. I will also say, if you haven't checked out Trophy, um, please do
Yeah.
it.
Yes, do it.
If it at all sounds interesting to you, like you might be interested, you do get that 7-day free trial. I believe that's still a thing.
It is.
um,
It
with
is, in
the
fact.
link. Well, there's a link, I assume, in their bio as well on this page, but there's one in mine on
Yes.
YouTube and Twitch and everywhere.
You're goated.
Um, and
And it
then
enables these conversations too, right? Like that's one of the I love community. You've mentioned community a few times in your
yep,
in our discussion here today. It enables these sort of interesting convos. So
yep.
it's a good thing. We're staffed with people who are passionate about gaming and we're passionate about connecting with people who are passionate, not necessarily at the highest level, like everyone. We want to know and we want to help everyone get better and enjoy Rocket League. So
Oh, and if you're interested in seeing what some of what trophy entails, before, if say you're interested and you're not 100% sure, I do have some content. I know they have lots of content as
you
well, and
do,
there's other
yes.
creators. But I've got some short videos on my YouTube. They're easier to find on YouTube because I've actually got a playlist with them all in it. But they're on every other platform as well. But on YouTube, if you go to the trophy playlist, there's 4 or 5 shorts in there, and a full long form video that gets a little bit more in depth with some stuff. So if you wanted to get a better idea as to what Trophy brings to the table and what is available on the platform, have a look for that as
Love it.
well.
Yeah, I just dropped your jorturtle.ca link in the chat.
Yep,
They'll find all of your stuff there. Jor, thank you so much. Really amazing combo,
not a
man.
problem, sir. It was my
Yeah.
pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.